All right, we good?
Yes.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Local's going. Oh, fuck me, dude. Have you been recording this whole time?
Yeah.
Well,
I
we need
have
to
been.
sync up. We need to sync up.
Oh, we do need to sync up. I'm sorry all those racial slurs were recorded.
Someone once accused us of bleeping me because I said slurs, and I'm just like, no, it's usually death. It's usually
that situation, because we usually, what we're bleeping is like, you say something like, I think the CEO of United Healthcare should be, and then a long beep, and what you're saying in that situation is a series of racial slurs, I guess.
Right.
I don't know how
I don't track that either.
Grammatically, at least, like,
right, well,
let alone politically.
I mean, we'll talk about Mamma Mia.
We'll talk about it.
Mamma Mia 3.
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia 3, where the protagonist, Pierce Brosnan, of course. I've never seen Mamma Mia. I have no fucking idea. I just know he's in it.
Yeah,
I've seen Mamma Mia once, but I wasn't paying much attention.
I've seen Mamma Mia too.
Seen it. I think you should do that for Kill James Bond. That sounds like hell.
I'm unholstering my NKVD Commissar pistol to say we do a sync point now.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Oh, I was way early. Fuck my ass.
Well,
it's fine. It's in the ballpark. It's in the ballpark.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when Devin comes to my house, and they're armed with 2 letter bombs, I'll get it. Sorry, Dev.
No, 2 letter bomb. Here's a lesser bomb. Here's my spare lesser bomb in case the first lesser bomb doesn't work.
Surely you would send the letter bomb in the mail as opposed
to
gone
now. That's being privatized. You know,
not the way Devin's doing
it. you can't even send lesser bombs anymore because there's no postal service. You know,
because of anti-woke.
Another traditional craft gone in the face of capitalism.
What would Uncle Teddy Kaczynski think of this? I'm not endorsing his methods.
I sent my letter bomb by certified mail. Hello and welcome to Well, There's Your Problem. It's a podcast about engineering disasters with slides. I'm Justin Rosniak. I'm the person who's talking right now. My pronouns are he and him. Okay, go.
I'm November Kelly. I'm the person who's talking now. My pronouns are she and her. Yay, Liam.
Yay, Liam. Hi, I'm Liam McAnderson. My pronouns are he, him, and death to Barney, which we'll get to. We have and with us is our I don't know what to call you, man.
None of us know what I am.
Friend.
It's fine. It's fine.
Situationship.
Yeah.
Victim. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Bringing our friend to Christmas, like your aunt and her roommate for the past 25 years.
Yeah. We're gonna do the cousin walk.
That's exactly it.
Consider this. This is the official podcast of the cousin walk. I think I believe that.
It's cousin Gareth. Cousin Gareth is here, and his pronouns, my pronouns are he, him.
I do think that my aunt, who I don't believe listens to the show and who I wish a very timely bleep that, please. My mom will get mad at me. She is openly gay. She's the worst woman in the world, my aunt is. And she, like, I applaud her for living her truth, but her truth is fucking miserable, dude.
Suddenly fascinated about your beef with this woman. Because if you didn't know anything about you, that would really sound like it was a specifically homophobic thing.
No. It's just that she's mean to my mother. And,
I see.
And I love my mother very much, and anyone who crosses my mama is gonna get the blade. Yeah, I think that's right to say.
That sounds about right.
So yes, go on.
So what we see here was a cat in a hat.
Ooh.
But now he has been reduced to an ordinary cat. Without a hat.
Reduced in status, shamed publicly,
turned into an ordinary cat on some sort of weird Dr. Seuss motorcycle type contraption.
Critically horizontal and not vertical.
Yes. Yes, he has spun out and lost his hat. And also, you will notice here, knocked over a street light.
Oh yeah, there's some destruction. There's a wake of destruction going on here as well.
Just lasering in on that and being like, this is a New York City streetlight. It's not supposed to look like this.
This was originally entitled That Time the NYPD Killed Barney, but we're going to actually expand it out to several incidents, most specifically at the 1997 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but also the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in general.
Hell yeah.
I want to give many, many thanks to the people who maintain the impeccably detailed Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade Wiki.
Oh, wow.
It is also a goldmine.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah. They apparently also do a podcast called Let's Pod a Parade, where they do recaps of every year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
I didn't know there was like a fandom for this stuff.
Once I started reading the articles, I was like, oh, you can really foam this. you can foam the balloons.
This is a foamable topic. Yeah.
This is a foamable topic. Yeah.
And my university says yes to that. I'm now looking up like whether you can find out like technical details of these things, whether they like find out what the thickness of the canvas is and like what technology they used to.
Do you think that they're like sports bores where they're like you're watching the Macy's Day Parade casually and they're like locked in? They're like thinking about like micron thicknesses of tarpaulin.
Yeah, hasn't been good since the 1997 Pikachu.
Take it back. These new balloons don't know how to play hard-nosed parading.
That was a real lunch pail Pikachu. 9 to 5. But first we have to do announcements. Okay. So the tour, it's still happening. The Northeast Corridor tour.
Or the 6 Days of Sodom tour on ice, sponsored by the hostage we have, Lin-Manuel. I can't say that fucking either, can I?
No, you can't say that we've taken Lin-Manuel Miranda hostage because it's not true. Crucially,
it's not true.
It's again. I don't.
I can't fit him in my basement because someone else put a nuclear weapon down there.
Here,
not mine.
Hold this.
Just like, oh, you're gonna have to share. Sorry.
Yeah.
Raj shooting at the New Jersey drones to protect someone else's reactor.
Oh, we didn't even put that in the news. Next time we'll talk about the drones.
Yeah, it's on like a 3-week delay anyway. Shut up.
I was about to say there's so much fucking news right now that we can't cover everything. I did see the Iranian mothership yesterday. It was big. It was white. It was round. There was like a little bite taken out of it. I was like, wow.
It has been it's been a decade of weeks where decades have happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our tour next year, late April, early May. The April 29th show in New York. It's April 29th, right?
I think so, yeah.
That one still has seats available. The Washington, D.C. tour is selling out quickly. The Fillmore, even in Philly, that one's also getting close to sold out. So buy those tickets.
We are filling more quickly.
Yeah.
Like an over-energetic top.
Yes, exactly.
We are like following the instructions written on the side of the building. Fillmore Theater.
Yeah, Fillmore seats. Go buy the tickets. Buy the tickets now.
Mm-hmm.
The link's in the description.
Yeah, as ever, when I say this, my presence physically is contingent on U.S. Customs and Immigration Services. However, I am working on that, and I hope to have a definitive answer soon.
I do want to say something that's very funny is that the Fillmore, when they have big touring acts, they close Richmond Street to traffic to put the tour buses there. Well, we don't have many tour buses or any tour buses really. We just have my wife's Toyota RAV4, which
we got this tour bus on discount from the Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, don't worry about what's happening to that toilet.
We could get a private railroad car and put it down the trolley tracks there.
I do want to see if they'll close the road for just my wife's car. I I don't think they'll let me do that, but I think it would be incredibly funny.
It's like, have you seen that photo of the tiny little dog that got onto the Pope's parade route one time on a papal visit, and he thought it was for him? Yeah, that's gonna be like your wife's van. You know,
the RAV4's internal persona will be like skipping through, like thinking like a cyclist way ahead of the peloton when they cleared the road for the Tour de France. It's exactly. I love that. I also think you should get like a little aftermarket siren to put on the roof.
That's probably legal.
Yeah. As long as you pick a funky color for it, I don't know, go for like a beige,
like
or
flashing green lights or something. I mean, really, what is more? Well, there's your problem than a flashing yellow light on a RAV4. It implies vaguely engineering and urgency, which is two things that we are interested in.
Yeah,
it's that or an inflatable. We take the inflatable hat off the cat and pop that on the roof instead. It's sort of like an ad hoc construction.
We bring Milkshake to the show. Yeah,
I don't think Milkshake would like meeting that many people. I'm afraid of how many people I'm gonna meet.
No, Milkshake loves meeting people. That's his favorite thing.
He loves chewing on their beards. He loves sitting on their heads.
Absolutely. No, he's gonna scratch everyone.
just let Milkshake loose to terrorize the audience.
Milkshake cook. All right, what's our next announcement?
A toy drive?
Oh, yeah. That's me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I tweeted about it a couple days ago. You hogs have outdone yourselves. I don't have an exact number. I did tweet the photo. That is not all of the toys. You blew by last year, and last year was pretty impressive. So I am very grateful. By the time this goes out, our Christmas, which is our busiest season, will have concluded. Lutheran Settlement House can use your help all year long, though. We'll put a link to our Get Involved tab, where if you are local to Philadelphia, you can volunteer. If you live in any other place that's not the perfect and wonderful city of Philadelphia, Mayor Cheryl Parker not included, you can donate to us. We are always open to donations. We are always grateful for them. I have tweeted this number before, but the hogs have raised, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but since we started bullying them last year, something in the neighborhood of $28,000.
Good. That's pretty. And be proud of yourselves, folks. It's incredible.
And that is money that is non-restricted. Some of you have donated. I'm not going to call anyone out by name because I don't want to, for the sake of anonymity. I know at least one listener has donated $5,000. I know another has donated $10 to our shelter through becoming involved in through this podcast. So well done, hogs.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's very good. So yeah, just very grateful for you. Unironically, thank you, hogs.
Yes, thank you to the hogs for doing lots of charity. Speaking of charity, another announcement here. A friend and multiple time guest of the podcast, Sean from the Antifada, suffered a series of small strokes during an emergency operation. He's going to be out of work for a while. I've at least texted with him. He seems like he's in good spirits. Podcast brain comes for us all, apparently. There is I believe it's called a meal train set up for him and his wife. We will put the link to that in the description if you want to, donate either a meal or a gift card for DoorDash or Uber Eats. Do the discourse somewhere else. But that is, that is something that I think they would very much appreciate. Because again, Sean's out of work for a while. So.
And one very small announcement, which I've been told in the Discord that I should be doing, and people have been shouting at me for not doing it, is up front saying, go buy my book if you want to. It's a nice Christmas present.
Go buy the book.
Go buy the book.
How the Rails Will Fix the Future. It's available in the US, in Canada, and the rest of the world. You can find it. We're on the third print run because it's been sold. It's been selling like hotcakes. So thank you to all of you who have bought it already. That's all. I'll keep it short. That's it. Thanks to all of you. I love you.
I bought the book. I'm on page 20. It's very good.
Oh, thanks, Roz. Oh, yeah. There you go. It's out there. I may have a chance to sign that in person at some point in the next not so distant future. Who knows? Maybe.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. We'll shelve that. I will discuss that off camera.
Yes.
Well, that's exciting. Anyway, yes. Announcements.
Can you do me a solid? For the next announcements, can we put a deafening train horn blast in there?
I don't know if we should do that. I think we should do that. Yeah, I think we should do that here to wake them back up again.
Yeah.
Oh, we do that.
You slumped off and drooling in your chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you do the big K5 LA off the Acela, obviously.
Oh, I have one joke to make before we
oh, that's probably good. It's a comedy podcast.
Yeah. Oh, it's a comedy podcast. We like that.
I gotta wrap it.
That's it. Yeah.
So it's a very serious podcast.
Damn, dude. And I'm being shelled. It's like work. So I was watching the Polar Express with my wife because it is Christmas time, and she said, you know, the annoying know-it-all kid who's like, you know what kind of train this is? This is a blah 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 blah. It's a bald, which it's not. It's a whatever.
It's a Lima. It's not a bald one. He says it's a bald one, but it's a Lima.
I know it's a Lima.
Kicking this kid out of foaming.
Wait.
Yes.
My wife goes, my sweet, wonderful wife, Rennie, goes, you know, I used to hate that kid, you know, when I was watching this movie as a child. And then I grew up and I married that kid. And now I'm married to that kid, and that kid's best friend is also like that. And I was like, yep. It's me and Roz, baby. We're gonna do the news.
All right, it's time for the goddamn news.
New mixer. It's kind of a lucky dip here.
Fruit Loops.
That is a drop of a guy saying Fruit Loops from the film In Order of Disappearance. Because of Kill James Bond. Thank you.
That's your job, Nova. Is to have shit like that just
introduce
on deck.
Chaos. Yeah.
Yeah. I like to think of myself as a kind of like confounding factor.
I also like to think of myself that way. And while Roz tries bravely to keep this narrative going, I just like derailing it. But
so we have to talk, of course, about the man of the hour.
Mm-hmm.
Luigi Mangione.
I think that
there's a non-zero chance this guy listened to There's Your Problem and saw my tweet about kneeling the United Healthcare CEO over a ditch, and then some guy got mad at me 2 years later because I thought it was funny that he got
how careful do you want me to be about what I say about this? Because I've already said on Trash Future that I thought it was good that the guy he killed was killed. And that I don't think this guy Luigi's Mansion did anything wrong. And that he should be freed immediately and awarded the keys to the city. I think that's clear.
I think Liam and I have discussed several times in the past. We both believe murder is basically morally neutral.
Yeah, co-signed, baby.
Yeah.
Well, they're hitting him with terrorism charges. Off of
they are
this.
hitting him with terrorism charges.
You can go into an African American church in Charleston, South Carolina, kill 9 people, and try to instigate a
race war.
Race war. And yeah, I've seen the tweet about, well, actually, the feds got him, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that guy got like Burger King after he was like arrested, whereas this guy couldn't even get a McDonald's before he was arrested.
He had to pay for his own McDonald's.
Without being betrayed by Pennsylvania, the Judas state, and arrested, because somebody tipped off the cops that he was in a McDonald's.
As the person in the leftist podcast sphere who has most recently been to Altoona, Pennsylvania, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to get turned in by a minimum wage worker, Altoona is the place it would happen.
And McDonald's is the chain that it would be at. Like, had this man gone across the street to a Sheetz, I believe they would still be looking for him today. He would be leaving more and more discarded jackets behind, and they would be tracing him across the country.
More and more backpacks full of Monopoly money.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, I know not everybody
just like a trail of
not everybody has to be on board with this kind of thing, right? If you're squeamish about that, I'm not going to hold it against you, right? If you want to do the hold hands and be like, why don't we just be friends? Sure, right? But for me personally, knowing a little bit, not even from personal experience, just from friends, from colleagues, from others, who like knowing a little bit about the American health insurance industry and about American capitalism generally, right? Seeing the CCTV footage, immaculate. Seeing him evade the cops for like a week with like 4 pins in his fucking spine, also very impressive.
Never ditched the murder weapon.
No, we're just walking around with like a backpack with the manifesto in the backpack with the murder weapon, with the extremely cool murder weapon.
I think he was trying to get caught at that point. He was like, what the fuck is going on? Why haven't they caught me?
I sort of, that's kind of my thought too. I will say, as somebody who has dealt with United Healthcare numerous times, yeah, I can't say I'm entirely sympathetic to Brian Thompson. He was a ghoul, and the other thing is my dad spent his legal career doing bankruptcy law, Social Security and disability law, and spent a lot of his time, especially in the pre-ACA days, arguing with judges over whether or not medical debt was real. People go bankrupt over that.
Yeah, routinely and in a way that like nowhere else in the world.
I think it's 64% of American bankruptcies are medical debt, but I could be wrong on that.
The industry at this point, now that people are living longer, now that, we have more effective treatments for cancer and heart disease and stuff like that, but those treatments are very expensive. We have better treatments for chronic disease, but those are also very expensive. More people are using more healthcare, and the health insurance industry is, like, I think at this point, inherently unsustainable, which is why the entire business model at this point is about denying care.
We should look at some more industries that are unsustainable and consider if there are ways to make executives not want to work in them anymore.
Are you talking about, say, the
oil and gas? Chiefly, but like there's not a shortage, right? There's a lot of stuff to go around. There's a lot of verbs that begin with D. It's fine. The thing is, right, and the thing that's been troubling me about this, the only thing that's been troubling me about this is he wrote on the shell casings, deny, defund,
defend, depose.
Right, which is like the tactics that the insurance industry uses to avoid paying out claims. My question is, knowing that he had a magazine depth of like 7 rounds, did he write anything on the others? And they just were like, was he trying to make that point specifically? What would have happened if he had like missed one and just hit him with the defend,
Actually, I would like to have known what was written on the other casings. Yeah.
You're just like really down into the dregs. You've got a dictionary open to DE and you're just like, what the fuck else did they do?
Yeah.
You could do delay. That's another one.
Destroy, I guess. That's pretty good.
Defenestrate.
I feel like that doesn't hit unless you actively defenestrate the guy, right? Like,
I do like the idea of some bumbling New York City cop with his thumb up his ass being like, yo, boss, this one says defenestrat. What's that mean? as Brian Thompson goes crashing through a window.
Obviously it's a dude's name. You're looking for an Italian dude, as this was defenestrate.
Defenestrate, yes. Oh, this one says fragile. That must be Italian.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, I mean the thing is, this guy's ideology. I was hoping for a while he was ahead of the cops that he was going to turn out to be the same kind of communist as I am, right? And obviously that's never going to happen. What's interesting about this guy is, in terms of like radicalization, is that he seems like a completely normal, like kind of like center right bro type.
Yeah.
Who has...
he's like a business success guy. Based on his social media, he was like
a little bit of like Jordan Peterson maybe, but like nothing nothing even really extreme by today's standards, depressing as that is.
Exactly. The first thing I saw, he made this post about trad architecture, And it's like, after he put together the manifesto pretty good because it's basically an elevator pitch. Maybe we need these business success guys to take on the mantle of radical politics, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: they do a better job writing manifestos than your kind of like Nazi type cranks who always have like a kind of like 80-page PDF with like sources to all their favorite columnists and shit. Whereas this guy is just like 3 bullet points,
Yeah, it's like three bullets.
With that, that was what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Guys like Steph fucking Curry out there, dude.
Yeah.
and no collateral damage as well. I mean, what else can you say? I feel like this is. I mean, obviously, the backlash to this is that like CEOs are going to invest even more in bodyguards and like armored cars and shit like that.
Yeah.
But there's
Armored
nothing they weren't already doing.
Came to take away our sons.
Yes.
They might start backing gun control.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I really think that the like
he 3D printed this weapon, so that horse has left the barn.
I think the thing that really struck me was the kind of across the political spectrum from left to right, there was a pretty broad lack of sympathy with the CEO. Because like almost everybody in the US has some experience with health insurance companies, and it's always always a negative one.
Pure molten fucking evil.
Because healthcare should be a right. It shouldn't be a commercial good, and it shouldn't be something you have to insure.
Well, we tried reforming it through the market, and we tried reforming it through the market, and we tried reforming it through the market. Then there was this old Jewish guy who said maybe we should nationalize it, and he was beaten to a pulp. And then that happened a second time. And then we tried reforming it through the market, and that still didn't work. So here is a third route.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take the kind of lib position that what happened was bad, right? Fine, but in that case, you still have to concede that it's something that happened because every other safety valve was shut off.
Yeah. Right. This is the boiler explosion in process.
I mean, one thing I will say is because this is still like sub judice, I know you don't have laws like that in the US because you don't care about trial processes, but like we don't legally know that this is the guy, right? And I, for one, personally would like to say I'm sure it's not. In fact, I'm pretty certain I saw this guy in the UK at the time of the killing, like thousands of miles away. And obviously know him personally, close friends. He would never be involved in anything like this. I think anything that we can do to just reinforce his innocence on a legal basis until the trial's concluded is to the good,
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know why we've got the photo of this guy up here. He's just some guy.
Yeah. He's just a very handsome man.
It's not even the same jacket,
Yeah,
the eyebrows completely different. It's
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw him down at the Wawa on the day of. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I saw him at 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
it just kind of taking
this man
the principle.
Goes to a lot of convenience stores.
he's a fan. Just taking the logic of shoplifting.
He's just like me.
A step further to say that if you see someone murder the CEO of a health insurance company, no, you didn't.
This is gonna get us worse from the algorithm than the Aaron Bushnell episode.
It's probably fine. Listen, people have been waiting to hear about what we think about this. I think it's pretty obvious what we think about this. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised or scandalized. But like, I think we would be doing our listeners a disservice if we didn't lay cards on the table about this being like good.
Yeah. This is the reality of when this industry has been so out of control for so long, and so directly damaging to people's lives.
Right.
If you make peaceful change impossible.
And I've been quiet through this one, but the thing that I see this is this is a bit of a canary in the coal mine. And we've talked about, we've talked extensively in various places and lots of discussion about CEOs kind of putting the barricades up even higher. But sorry guys, it won't work. But this is a hint of what happens. Like, given that liberal democracy is essentially failing as a process by which people are represented, this is kind of the way to avoid this happening more is to actually start doing things as governments, making people's lives actually better rather than just this is the inevitable outcome, folks. So hi there, all liberal politicians. If you want this to not happen, then maybe start doing some things that make individual people's lives better. Just a tip.
Healthcare, housing, education, transportation.
Yes.
God, if only.
Yeah, quite.
In other news,
there we go. No. Speaking of bad things happening to bad people,
it's Keir Starmer. Oh no, it's not.
It's another authoritarian.
You're gonna have to get your eyes checked, and guess who can check them for you?
Yeah, no, it's another authoritarian leader, sort of widely despised by his population.
Yeah.
So it turns out that invading Ukraine in a year plus 3-day special military operation really degrades your capacity to prop up your friends in the Middle East, which is something that Russia has just found out. Iran also is reeling from strikes on Hezbollah, and so consequently, this has led to the fall of Assad in Syria, which good fucking riddance.
I'm glad I never
co-signed. Fuck off.
Glad I never volunteered an opinion on this before, because I probably would have gone with a stupid contrarian one.
Yeah, I mean, I did back in the day, because I remember when a lot of the online left and fucking Chapo Trap House on down was very much into the idea of this is kind of okay, he's not great, but whatever you feel about him, it's like an anti-imperialist thing, and what are you, a big fan of NATO? And it's no, if you look at the shit that this guy was doing. It's like the fact that he was doing it in a camp that is opposite to the US or the UK's or whatever doesn't mean it's a good or acceptable thing to be doing. When you're pulling people out of torture prisons, you're well, fuck this guy, I'm not gonna spend any time burnishing his anti-imperialist credentials because he doesn't fucking have any.
Other people can be bad too.
Yeah. And I think there was a lot of I remember a lot of jokes. I probably did a couple about the white helmets or whatever the fuck else, because I was listening to Radio War Nerd and convincing myself that Rania Khalek was a worthwhile person to listen to on any of this shit. And I just it's I think as I'm deeply embarrassed by that now, and as time's gone on, I'm just kind of in this situation where, as kind of skeptical as I am, I think for good reasons, about the new guys who are in charge about HDS.
The new guys seem a little bit sketchy, yeah.
Wackadoo.
Yeah, especially since in the South, the new guys are Israel, apparently.
Yeah, and Israel has grabbed some more of Syria. Turkey is bombing the Kurds. It's a mess, but it's still all preferable to just Assadism forever, right? And that's something that's been sort of an unresolved question for well over a decade at this point, because Assad's always kind of pitch to people was, well, I'm the guarantor of security and après moi le déluge. And I hope that that's not the case. I hope that as chaotic as it is, as bad as it is, that I hope it doesn't get worse. But also, that's the same logic that every dictator's ever used, and it's not enough.
It's a moment of change, a moment of potential, potential escape trajectory, potential opportunity, potential hope. There were an awful lot of very happy people in Syria, in Damascus. There was a lot of very happy people with this happening, and that stands for something, right? There's a moment that they can capture. I don't know. We wait and see. There was an immediate coziness with the West when it happened, but frankly, I can kind of understand why. I can kind of understand that you're kind of well, let's not burn all our bridges now. I don't know. I think this is one where, what's a good idea for all of us here is to let Syria get on with it for a little bit and do our best not to fuck around with it. That feels, from a geopolitics perspective, or actually what might be more helpful is to tell Turkey and Israel to do one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I mean, it'd be nice to be able to, tell Israel to do anything, but
well, quite.
here we
but,
are.
Well, we can. It's more genocide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is sort of like inadvertently, or like another huge win for Israel, right? Which has been continually rewarded for everything that it's done, including the genocide.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to them reaching the cliff edge, but it doesn't feel like it's coming anytime soon. And you know what? The way the world works, sometimes the bad guys never reach the cliff edge, and they're just fine.
Yeah, I mean, even with Assad, right? Like he's like out of Syria, but he's got asylum in Russia, so he's just going to be like chilling in Moscow, which is
even
no
his like
consequences,
kooky family members that he abandoned got out okay. So like everyone seems to have got out. Like what was there, like some cousin or something that escaped that he doesn't like that escaped in a military helicopter? It was
probably yeah.
Yeah,
I think his brother's in Iraq right now. Supposedly, it's a mess.
Just walked out.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me a bit of the fall of Afghanistan, where all the like sort of like ISAF aligned warlords were just like fleeing the country, leaving like convoys of trucks behind them, packed full of like ill-gotten gains. I mean, listen, like regardless of like camp, regardless of political bloc, I'm never going to be that sad to see people going through their former leaders like sort of gold-plated study and like tearing shit off the walls.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Too early to say. I feel and as the line goes, condemned to hope. Right.
Yeah. Let's hope this is a nicer Al Qaeda. But we saved the most important news for last.
Oh, we sure did.
All right, so it's the 2024 Hess truck. What do we think?
Go off, King.
Yeah,
I like this.
Yeah, it's much better than last year's, which, if you remember, was like a
mobile. Yeah,
it was the fascism mobile. It had like a heavily armored police car and a heavily armored truck to bring it around in. We have the fire truck,
Pursuit
and we have
Mustang.
The souped up fire chief car. And
it's
then,
like a DeLorean Mustang kind of had a little baby there. I like that. That's very nice.
This just screams, I didn't have to license this from Ford. Shut up.
Yeah.
The truck in particular I like as a kind of like, it really, they've been reading, someone at Hess has been reading all those Yimby guy Twitter threads that are like American fire trucks are too big. We got to have smaller ones everyone else, because they've kind of compacted it.
I think the car can fit in the back of the truck.
I mean, that's usually how they do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
yeah. I don't know about the motorcycle, but apparently it has wheelie action.
Wheelie action, so they can fully like this is like a full Italian job sort of arrangement going on here.
So did you buy this, Roz, or
no? I'm just reviewing the Hess truck
as for some reason we do every year.
But it's tradition,
$45.99 plus tax. Suck my dick, bro.
Look, the Hess truck is expensive. It's always been expensive.
I know. Okay, so the motorcycle does actually go in the truck on the side. You see that little.
Does the rider come off, or is he just like attached to the side of the thing? Okay.
Yes, that's the door.
Okay.
I'm on the 60th anniversary page.
Huh.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. This is apparently already sold out. Otherwise, I would have the various statistics about it.
I think it's cool that it has 43 lights.
It's a handsome red color. I will say that. Like the kind of bright red.
That's a lot of lights. Yeah.
How many lights?
43.
43 lights.
See, I would have gone up to 60
lights.
for the 60th anniversary, but like
you add one light each year.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, you start with like one like beacon light, and you just go from there.
Well, I think the first test truck didn't have any lights at all.
Well,
no, it didn't.
Starting from zero.
The second one was a boat for some reason.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the Hess Voyager. Yeah,
a boat, the truck of the seas.
Yeah.
This is nothing. This is absolutely nothing.
What I don't understand is why they stopped making they just started making fire trucks.
Well, when my parents used to buy me the Hess truck every year, it was like a tow truck, and then it was like It was, I can't remember the rest. Yeah, it was an ambulance.
It's like this is the most
mostly white and green as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude.
It's kind of like this is the most respected genre of truck in America because everybody loves firefighters apart from those Yemby guys who are like, I want to put them in like a smaller truck and like lay off half of them. So like this is like patriotic truck, you know.
They did do a dump truck in 2017.
I feel like a dump truck is moderately patriotic, but like a fire truck is more patriotic than a dump truck.
I do like the original like Steven Spielberg Jewel era like truck. That is quite nice. I am
like a tractor trailer. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the big Mack truck. Yeah.
Oh no, that's how Maximum Overdrive started.
I mean, I do have a problem with this in that with the livery, it is kind of normalizing a creeping kind of like fire privatization. This looks like the private fire brigade of Hess. Because of the branding. You know, there's no kind of like municipal link there. You know,
one of those private fire brigades that like big chemical plants have. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. These guys are all wearing like 6 layers of hazmat suit in there.
These guys are about to go fight the nastiest fire you can imagine.
That's how they got the DeLorean Mustang for the chief, you know. Like, municipal fire departments, shit. I mean, they can barely even pay people. Most of them are volunteers, so you know.
I will walk directly into the hydrogen fluoride cloud.
Don't do that.
Doing sick burnouts in my DeLorean Mustang in a cloud of HF. They just melt and my skeleton falls out of the door of the car. When the smoke clears, I'm just a thin soup in the bottom of the fucking mats.
I should have said it to recirculate.
No.
You think that's bad? The bike guy's having a worse time.
Oh my god! Oh, he's got an air tank on his back.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
But no visible hoses, and it's just a regular bike helmet. So, like, I'm thinking he's having a bad time.
I don't think he's doing all right. I'm just tracing down through years. So, year of our birth, Nova. There
1990 motherfucking one.
1990 motherfucking one. There appears to be a Lotus Elan as the accompanying vehicle with the
so
truck,
it is.
Which is, that's, by the way, for anyone who doesn't, Liam, without any words, Liam just very politely dropped in the link to all of the historic Hess trucks, and all of us obviously opened it and have been tracing up and down whilst recording a podcast. There's just a little peek behind the curtain, everyone there.
Yeah, inside baseball, which is just, Roz, you didn't open the link, did you?
No, I did open the link.
Oh, good.
Just now.
Okay.
It's on screen for everyone.
Now I'm looking at all the Hess trucks. Oh, there was a Hess monster truck.
We're never gonna get through this.
Oh man, there was a Hess space shuttle truck.
I know. I think I had I had the one I can remember having is 95. No, I had 99. I had the space shuttle truck. I had 95, and I didn't have 97 or 98, and I had 2001. I remember the helicopter.
I like
a biplane in 2002.
I like the Hess Chinook.
I like number 9. I like 1993. The like Crown Vic type.
There was a Hess Winnebago because in 1980.
The 93 one it's like a cop car, but it still says Hess gasoline on the side, and it's like that kind of like speaks to the like, you know, the Bush era liberalism thing of being like, it's all about oil, man, when you get pulled over for drunk driving. That fully like hits that. It's like, yeah, of course, it's about oil.
I'm trying to figure out what Hess truck I had. It might have been the helicopter one in 95. I don't know.
I was shit to have an F-35.
I was shit talking the boat, but you know what? As someone who spent a lot of my time as a kid playing with Lego and using the 2x4 blocks I had to create boats that famously aren't square, I actually am a big fan of the 1966 tanker. I think that's actually very nice.
Your modern Lego boat uses a one-piece molded plastic hull.
It's bullshit. That is bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. How do you know how to make the nice hull when you kind of grid it? It's, you know, I made some beautiful boats.
They floated in the bathtub though.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you lost a bunch of pieces down the drain at the end of the day.
Yeah. You guys know you can buy a Lego model of the Endurance, right?
Huh.
I know that you could buy a Lego model of a Concorde. Funny story. I was in the airport in Luton, and I was going, you know what? When I get back on the flight back from Luton, I might buy this Concorde. Unfortunately, I was in Serbia seeing family. Unfortunately, that trip is when I was told I was suspended with pay, and I decided that buying a Concorde maybe wasn't a good use of my limited funds at that point. So
it's like
one of the first things I will do.
So I got 2 pieces of news.
Look
at this Concorde.
Also, first piece of news is really good. We own this now.
I am struggling through building 9/11. I know that sentence doesn't make sense, but I have a Lego 9/11. Not the Twin Towers collapsing the car.
I see. Okay, right. Yeah.
Okay. I was genuinely
I bought the Lego 911.
I pictured you just kind of like
comes with the exclusive Muhammad Atta minifigure.
just turning around to put another piece on my South Tower diorama. Is it just like
It comes with a George W. Bush one too, and he sold him a little book upside down.
It's like opening the booklets, and I'm like, why are there a bunch of C4s in here?
Okay, Hogs, get on Lego Ideas, make it happen. I want
how to get banned from Lego Ideas in one easy step.
These and other great Christmas gift ideas here on Well, There's Your Problem podcast.
Beautiful. Right, let's crack on.
Let's do the show. That was the goddamn news.
48 minutes in, baby.
Oh Christ, is it really? We'll cut most of it.
Yeah,
no, we won't.
I will say that we'll cut most of it, and that way people aren't allowed to get mad at me for it being long.
Oh, there you go. All right, we have to ask a question. What is a parade?
Marching up and down the square.
Yeah. You're in high school and you play the cymbals. And
it's in high school and you've been invited to like guest in an OK Go video.
The York, Pennsylvania Halloween parade, and then you want to kill yourself the entire 3.5 miles. It's fun.
You make a whole bunch. Yeah. You make a whole bunch of nice uniforms and then you want to show them off.
Mm-hmm. You can other uses of parades. You can celebrate gay rights, for instance.
Yes,
hells yeah.
You could do like a carnival. You know, if you're in a kind of a place that does those, like Mardi Gras.
You can celebrate the immortal science of Marxism, Leninism.
Yeah, as I do at every Mardi Gras. You could get like, I'm on the like, what's the fucking bullshit like NASBA, the American Communist Party. I'm on the American Communist Party Mardi Gras crew. We've got to float with the big like polygonal Lincoln head.
That would be so fucking grim.
We're not throwing beads at anybody because that's bourgeois degeneracy. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
You can parade 4 trains in the same direction southwards on the East Coast mainland. That one really rare time that I think I've shown in a picture on the Great Heck episode years ago.
You can parade TGVs as SNCF
TGVs,
did.
Yes, yeah.
You have a military parade. You bring a bunch of tanks out and destroy the pavement.
You can have an aircraft parade. You can do that. As I actually walked out into one of those once. I was in central London. I don't remember what it was. Like I don't know, Queen's birthday or something.
One of the Queen's birthdays that she used to have.
Yeah,
she had like 3
and
throughout the year, and I never got which one was the real one.
Yeah, and I was walking down central London, and got. Like a fly past got like overflown by a bunch of like Typhoons and F-35s, and I was just like, oh shit. So yeah, you could do that. You can do any number of things. You can have a marshal for a parade, which is when you give someone a sash, and they like lead the thing.
So what is the essence? You make a bunch of shit all go in the same direction, and that shit can be anything.
It's there so you can show off your stuff and your guys.
Yep.
It's just a fun activity.
You have a victory parade. You could have a mummers parade. You could have all kinds of parades.
Mm-hmm. Word itself first attested 1650s as a show of bravado.
Oh, definitely got a lot of that.
Yeah.
But in terms of what we now know as the Thanksgiving parade, or Thanksgiving Day parade, it started as a Christmas parade at none other than Gimbel's department store.
We had it first, dickheads.
Yeah, Gimbel Brothers department store in Philadelphia.
It's not the first department store. The first department store was Le Bon Marché in Paris in like fucking...
Yeah, but this was the first one with the parade.
Okay, sure. Yeah, fine.
Yes.
Aristide Boucicault did not have a parade. He did invent shopping, though.
Yeah, they did invent shopping.
Yeah. There's a very nice streetcar there that we're obviously not going to talk about at all. I do, however, want to talk about, and I know we're about to, but it's on the screen and therefore appalling my eyes. What's this, carry-on film motherfucker doing in the old-timey car on two wheels? Because
Top Gear shit.
I'll get to that in 1 second.
Oh my god! Okay, right. Everyone, just get excited about that, like edge of seat shit. What's going on?
So, in Philly, we had it first. The Gimbel's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 1920. There were a bunch of marching bands. There were people doing stunts in the streets in little cars. There were horrible paper mache grotesques you can see down here.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Amazing performance right on Market Street. One of the funny things about this, as far as I can tell from the photographs, they did not shut down the street for the parade.
no barriers.
Hey, I have another question. Wasn't this right in the middle? Wasn't this right in the middle of Spanish flu too? 1920.
Probably, yeah.
You can feel better about your polio by sort of like having your iron lung wheeled to the no safety barriers, driving on two wheels bullshit papier mâché situation.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the guy just you're like in the Model T Ford behind that guy, just like a couple of car lengths, just in traffic.
You're trying to get to his bike. You're just like, for fuck's sake.
Trying to dodge this guy and the streetcars.
Golly.
The finale of the parade involves Santa Claus climbing a fire department ladder truck directly to the 8th floor toy department of the department store.
Okay, that's a pretty cool bit. I will.
Yeah,
and therein began the tradition of people climbing up poles in the street in Philadelphia.
I think that started earlier.
Oh my god! Yeah, maybe it did. I don't
know. I was trying to find the wiki for the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I stumbled upon a future episode, in addition to the future episode mentioned in the slide, in which Cal and Stanford just killed each other, and 23 people died.
Huh.
We're going to have to learn about that at some point. Yes, continue.
Now, this department store is notable because it's the founder's son, Frederick A. Gimbel, personally lobbied Congress to move Thanksgiving back a week to make more time for Christmas shopping.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Gimbel is that he was really kind of a fixed point. A lot of other stuff kind of like wobbled around him.
Yes. But the Thanksgiving Day Parade was one of the first attempts to do, really, really encourage people come buy toys at the department store. This is at 9th and Market, which is now the Disney Hole, which is a future episode.
The what?
The Disney Hole.
Disney Hole.
The Disney Hole. The Disney Hole.
Disney Hole.
Don't explain.
I'm picturing like one half of the 9/11 memorial, but it's got like, instead of the fountain, it's just got like a pair of Mickey Mouse's ears, just like protruding.
You're actually pretty close, but we'll get to that.
I was visualizing something scribbled on the inside of a cubicle. The Disney Hole, and then an arrow to a hole. Yeah.
The entire block of buildings here was demolished, and later Disney came and were like, we're going to do a new urban Disneyland experience. And then they dug out a foundation, and then they abandoned the site.
Disney
and then
Quest,
someone filled it up with dirt and put a parking lot on it.
And it's a sinkhole now.
Yeah, the parking lot is just sinking now.
So less than 9/11 memorial, more ground zero.
Yes.
Incredible.
Or heading towards ground -1 at this point, by the sound.
Why do they call it ground zero when it's clearly at a basement level? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is picked up by a few other department stores, most notably Macy's in New York City.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. So
and not
in
Gimbel's.
Macy's first Marathon of Mirth were floats based on nursery rhyme stories, the most elaborate of which featured Santa Claus riding his sleigh on a mountain of ice and snow. Filling the space between the floats were tumbling clowns, bareback riders, freaks, cowboys and girls, other merrymakers. Live animals from the Central Park Zoo were brought in to create an impromptu circus featuring lions, monkeys, and camels. Walter F. Donor, a ringmaster turned assistant superintendent of delivery at Macy's, organized the circus division of the parade that included 35 clowns refereeing a wrestling match between two grizzly bears in an open cage.
You are John Macy or whoever the fuck, and you're just handed a telegram that just says grizzly bear has eaten cowgirl.
It's like acceptable losses.
Yeah. When you said cowboys and girls, I was like, cowboys and girls, as in they just had girls. Just
Yeah,
like
girls and cowboys.
No one
It's
had
like
seen a
guys
girl
and
before.
Yeah. Just like, check this shit out. Women.
Women. Wow.
I'm a little depressed by the inclusion of the freaks as well. Like,
yeah.
You mean
that's
us?
some, that's some,
I guess so.
yeah.
Just the podcast float and the Macy's Day Parade. It's just all three of us, like astronauts in the back of a limo getting a ticker tape parade, but just waving.
That was direct from the Thanksgiving Day Parade.
I would hate to get a ticker tape parade, right? Because you're never getting that shit out of your clothes or hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't care if I've been to the moon. Like, why would you want me to do that? Just dump a bunch of shit on me, like a bunch of shit paper. It's like, thanks, cheers, thank you.
Hooray.
This started at 145th Street and Convent
Traditional
Avenue.
New York celebration where we dump a bunch of office garbage on you.
In their culture, it's a sign of great honor.
It's like, that was a pack of staples, dude. When you
just throwing staplers at you from the 60th floor.
Yet another way in which New York copies us. We did it first.
Tossing a box of batteries out, whole reams of printer paper.
Just nailing Neil Armstrong in the side of the head with a AAA battery.
Throw an office chair. Throw a desk.
You see a fax machine go down and you're like, well, I guess there's not going to be an Apollo 14.
Big reel-to-reel computer bank.
Oh no. And my $3 million 3 megabyte hard drive the size of a fucking storage closet.
20 pound mechanical adding machine. One of the girls who does the spreadsheets, you just throw her out.
Back to defenestration again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
So this parade started at 145th Street and Convent Avenue in Harlem, and it ended 6 miles later at the Macy's Herald Square store. There were floats, bands, and borrowed zoo animals, concluding with, as always, Santa Claus. 250,000 people turned out to watch the parade because it was 1924 and no one had social media yet.
Yeah, there's fuck all to do. That's it.
Nothing to do. A million thrills, a million laughs, a million thrills. Oh boy, this is.
Was 1924 still prohibition times? Because like that would explain a few things.
Yes.
Also, everyone was sober. Oh my god.
Oh,
no, everyone was drunk, but they had to lie about it.
And like drunk off of the most illicit, like sawdust-filled grain alcohol.
Yeah.
There's definitely a
riot juice.
Strong chance of blindness.
You're like coughing up like lemon peels and shit, and you're just like, yeah, it's great.
This actually wound up replacing the previous festivities, which was the Ragamuffin Parade, where kids trick-or-treated dressed as beggars.
Oh.
That became very unpopular during the Depression. So people, went to watch.
Still staging it during the Depression, and you're like, listen. I know it's sensitive, right? But like, it's an old tradition. It's fine, and you just have a bunch of kids dressed like Charlie Chaplin.
Enough of your DEI woke parade.
You can't even these days. You can't even dress as Charlie Chaplin's beloved tramp character merely because people are starving.
This route was later shortened to 110th and Amsterdam Avenue in the 30s for reasons we'll get into. After World War II, when the parade was suspended for wartime material rationing, it was shortened to 77th and Central Park West.
Which is sort of mahoo-hoo. What the fuck is a mahoo-hoo?
I was asking that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just reading through.
You're going to have to go to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade to see the mahoo-hoo, because I don't know what it is.
All right,
I know a wiki that might answer that question.
Parade foamers? No. Like, if you are a parade foamer, like, first of all, thank you for your service. Second of all, what the fuck is a mahoo-hoo?
All right, we got to know what the mahoo-hoo is.
Answers in the comments, folks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into this very strongly in my own time.
So, here's a guy.
A rhinoceros.
Yeah.
That
The Mahuhu's a rhinoceros.
I gotta tell you, the guy, the balloon top right feels like it's targeting.
Oh God! Okay, I just realized. Yeah. Oh,
it does.
dear.
I know it's it's not all about me, but that just feels like I don't know. Yeah,
problematic.
You don't
problematic.
Like
it's
There are magazines named
listen,
things that's representing at the time.
Can I say one thing, which is that this is reflective of a time before Mickey Mouse dominance, when the most recognizable cartoon character in to like Americans was Felix the Cat, someone no one has ever thought about since.
I do like that this guy,
except bomb disposal guys.
It's basically oh God, what's his? Who is the doctor that the Mossad kidnapped?
Oh God, you're testing me here.
Eichmann. This,
yeah.
So I'm
sorry,
asking,
I didn't go to Adolf Eichmann when you said doctor is the problem.
I got him confused with Mengele.
He was a doctor, right? I think, okay. But like chiefly known for other work,
Right. Of course. Yeah. I'm seeing born in Guatemala, family moved back to Germany, and I'm just thinking, he reversed Eichmann himself, which may explain the top right balloon.
Tony Sarg was born in Guatemala in 1880. His family moved back to Germany in 1887. He went to a military academy, commissioned in as a lieutenant, and because he possessed charisma and a sense of humor,
makes a terrible lieutenant.
Yeah, he was the center of attention at parties. He was a well-known practical joker, generally an all-around good guy. He was extremely unpopular in the German officer corps.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at him right now, and he doesn't have a bunch of like fucking fencing scars.
I'm sorry, I said that he was a reverse Eichmann. My bad.
Well, wouldn't it be a better thing to be a reverse Eichmann? Like,
yeah.
If you had to be an Eichmann in either direction, I presumably reverse would
Eichmann.
be the less evil one.
So he resigned his commission and moved to the UK in 1905. He married Bertha Eleanor McGowan of Cincinnati in 1909. He moved to Cincinnati in 1914, presumably in anticipation of the subway. But then the war broke out, right? So he finally wound up in New York City in 1915. Sarg had inherited a whole bunch of puppets from his grandparents and thus developed the fascination with puppetry.
Anti-Semitic puppets. Let's just be very clear here.
Yeah, it's just like, sorry, we're dead. Please take good care of our collection of racist puppets.
This feels like I know that you get some. I hate to single out my mother here, who can sometimes look like what a Nazi caricature of a Jewish person looks like, and I love my mother. This balloon is pushing it.
Jesus Christ.
He learned from the best in Britain, sort of studied their means of puppetry.
Oh, the best anti-Semites in Britain.
Yeah,
okay,
cool.
Someone's got to do
New York. We rounded up the Jews and put them in a castle and burned the castle down. So we know what we're doing in this country. Yeah, this is the worst of the worst. Learn it here. What a place.
The Germans hadn't perfected anti-Semitism yet.
That was still the domain of the French, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like the presidency of the UN Security Council. It rotates between countries, Yeah.
He was commissioned to make a storefront display in 1917, and continued to have a working relationship with Macy's after that fact. And Macy's started to have a problem with their parade. The zoo animals got really tired and ornery on their 6-mile death march. And that meant they started scaring the kids.
Yeah, they're eating cowgirls for sustenance, but like you're marching them from Harlem to like Lower Manhattan, and the streets are terrible. They're constantly getting like staplers thrown at them. You're calling them shit like mahoos.
Yeah,
you can't work under these conditions. Yeah,
you got like paperweights, papers. Filing cabinets.
Hitting a rhinoceros with a filing cabinet feels like an uneven fight against the filing cabinet. There's not many things you can say that for.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about hippopotami is that they're herbivores and they kill you basically for fun.
For fun, yeah.
Yeah, just like, all right, that's enough of this human. I'm no longer
sick of this guy.
Deal with this.
Yeah. The thing about them being the most dangerous animal in the continent of Africa is apparently true. It's not a fake thing. It is a thing.
Oh yeah, they'll charge you.
They'll just murder you for no reason.
He slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch a face of God, but it's just an 8-year-old getting gored to death by a hippo.
Dropping a filing cabinet vertically and it getting impaled on a rhinoceros horn is like.
These things have been walking for like hours. They're grouchy, they're angry, they're pissed off. At that point, if I'm already a murder herbivore, then I'm being a grouchy murder herbivore. A herbivore. I was trying to go there and then realized I didn't have the chops.
Charge the fucking crowd. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fucking rules. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, first you get poked by the anti-Semitic Hitler balloon, and then you get gored by a rhino.
Well, no, the anti-Semitic balloon replaced the animals.
It's called harm reduction. It's like the anti-Semitic balloon is a historically progressive force.
God.
Sarg had just the idea. In 1928, he and his protege, Bill with one L Baird, wanted to do something big for the parade. Yeah, he's Bill with one L. We're going to do big puppets. We're going to do really big puppets. And that gave us the character balloon. Here's one of the first ones. It's Felix the Cat.
I like Felix the Cat. I'm a fan, and I feel like he's been unfairly marginalized by Disney. You know, like who even owns Felix the Cat? Nobody. I think he's public domain.
He was not a Disney property to start out with. I don't know if he was ever a Disney property.
No, he's just like a cat. Like
loving our mostly unproblematic fave.
Yeah.
Shout out to Felix the Cat. Yeah.
So he put together some massive balloons. Some of these, the original ones are very small because they were filled with oxygen. But once they figured out, you could fill it with helium, they got really, really big.
Yeah,
they could filling these balloons with oxygen. Everyone smokes. That feels
weirdly. Felix the Cat was sold to DreamWorks in 2014, but the early versions, like this one here, are public domain, so we can make this guy right here the official mascot cartoon character of Well, There's Your Problem.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice. Let's go.
So these were massive balloons. The original ones, again, filled with oxygen. Later, they were filled with helium. Some of them were 120 feet long. Some of them were 25 feet high, so on and so forth. These were all built by the Goodyear Rubber Company.
Of course they were.
And they were...
Shout out to Mia Mulder.
Yeah.
The gummy.
Stop
it.
Yes. Stop it. I said stop
it. This was an instant and great success. 1928 parade was the first one where they used helium balloons. We have some illustrations by the man himself.
Gigantic helium balloon that just says the stock market's going to go up forever.
Yeah.
Just the stonks guy, but 1928.
The hubris parade.
Yeah.
You're in Wall Street, you see the massive stonks guy go past your window on Peppers, and you're just like, feeling good about the American century.
Wait, why are 50% of them animals that look sad that have got a red star attached? What?
Oh, good question. That's probably the Macy star.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the baby on the third of this kind of thing, and I was thinking,
it's like a little target marker. It's unsettling. Yeah.
Well, also they've got the stretchy dog from Toy Story in the one before, so it's some Pixar foreshadowing.
No, that's Valdi, the mascot of the 1972 Munich Olympics.
Oh golly! I mean, there's a lot going on there. There's a train, you know. It's I'm not liking the character. There's a lot of pointy-nosed characters that rightly, I believe, Liam is looking at once again.
And clearly they have the technology to do other shapes of nose, as you can see.
No, they will do every human they represent, other than Santa Claus, with the strange. Oh my god!
Anti-Semitic Santa Claus is like a weirdly specific.
Here are some of the very early balloons in an airship hangar because they made them out of the same stuff.
They just be drawing. They just be illustrating
photo,
everything like that. Then,
That's
right?
so funny.
Yeah.
The
wandering Bajoon.
I'm stuck on Guy being anti-Semitic to Santa Claus to be like, oh, well, he controls the supply of all the presents in the world.
Why everything looks they've all got those eyes. They're just everything's be looking like that. Then
listen, if you were an animator or artist or whatever in like the 1920s and you drew
drugs
an eye that didn't look like Pac-Man, they killed you.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're
pretty much. That was
dead.
It was the style at the time.
The massive bags under the pig's eyes as well.
Right. He's got a severe addiction.
And all the animation at the time was like when they didn't have like elbows or knees, so they just like flop around. I'm thinking of Olive from Popeye and just like how she moved, like she just kind of flopped about the place.
I've depicted you as the scandalized Macy balloon and myself as the smug pig balloon.
Oh my god!
Here's Sarg blowing up the elephant himself.
That's not where you blow, mate.
The quality of the rubber on these is so upsetting as well. Like I don't know if it's just that I haven't seen a modern one up close, but like
look at Mickey Mouse's dead soulless eyes.
This is the first Mickey Mouse in the parade.
Wow. What the fuck is the thing on the top?
That's right? Godzilla.
No, Sarg did this as a practical joke. Which is he inflated it on the beach in Nantucket and told everyone there was a horrible sea monster on the beach.
And everyone was blind drunk on like pure alcohol, so they believed it, presumably.
Yeah.
You're in fucking like season 3 of Boardwalk Empire. You like leave your like speakeasy for seeing daylight for the first time in 3 weeks, and you see this thing floating down the beach.
Sea monster at the beach. And then later it was in the parade.
just like we owned the rubes of Nantucket floating on a banner underneath it.
Just like eldritch horror stuff. Everyone immediately got like absolute. Oh, I suppose everyone was just seeing people getting smeared across the road every couple of hours, so maybe they were just kind of annoyed to this stuff. But like this is like nightmare shit.
Well, I mean, this is prime Lovecraft times, so it's like it's like this isn't horror. Horror is when someone is like mixed race.
Yes.
Yeah.
This makes Lovecraft look like the Reverend Audrey. And so in the early days, at the end of the parade, when they reached the Herald Square store here, they would simply release the balloons.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. That's God's problem now.
Yeah.
And he's going to meet Mickey Mouse and a fucking sea monster.
Yeah.
Just also November 1928, immediately after the Stonks guy goes up to heaven, they release the sea monster in a kind of like tribute to American hubris to find and kill God.
So, yeah, when the parade reached the Herald Square store, the balloons were simply released with a $50 reward for anyone who subsequently found them and brought them back. This led to all sorts of problems, right? First, people would try and bring back random pieces of rubber and say, this is part of the balloon. Give me a partial reward.
Incredible.
The second problem
incredible work
was daredevils.
What?
Clarence Chamberlain caught a balloon with his plane in 1931 in a stunt.
Oh my God, that's so sick. You would never talk about anything else.
No, you wouldn't.
Like, I flew up in a fucking biplane and like clotheslined the sea monster.
Yeah, I fucking took out Pikachu.
Yeah, I don't know.
F-35 pilot painting little Pikachu. I don't know. Should be an F-22 pilot because like that's the only combat kill.
Dude, fucking smoked Garfield.
There is no reason the Chinese spy balloon couldn't have been in Garfield form, other than copyright, I guess.
Yeah, the Chinese don't.
It's like,
Chinese don't recognize that. Maybe they
working
do. I
at
don't know.
Minot Air Force Base, you look up, is that Garfield?
Is that Garfield up there? By God, is that Garfield's music? In
Just like a Garfield trailed sensor array of cameras and shit.
In 1932, the next year, a more novice daredevil attempted the same to catch a balloon with her plane, stalled, plummeted out of the air, nearly crashed, managed to pull out of it at the last second.
And that was L for women's equality in the early days, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, you needed, you know, we let women fly planes, but we don't let them vote.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, exactly. That ended the practice of releasing the balloons. They were simply deflated from then on.
Just like we ritually kill Felix the cat at the entrance to Macy's. To his blood sacrifice like renews the Macy's toy department success for another year.
Yes.
I'm hoping that this black and white image is just misrepresenting the colors of the balloons, because otherwise an awful lot of them look a bit like gollywog caricatures.
These,
as far as racist balloons go, I will say the United Kingdom, the only country I believe to have produced a gollywog hot air balloon, still exists.
Christ on sale.
And I like imagine seeing that come over the fucking horizon and realizing the nature of the country you're in.
These were mostly very, very colorful.
I bet they were.
So yeah,
in ways that are unspeakably offensive. I mean, listen, I don't mind the Jew balloon, the bajoon, but I think they should do it in my image. Like, if we have any friends or listeners in charge of the balloons at Macy's, let us know what an estimate is on getting myself made into a balloon.
We've got Pikachu. We've got like the house from Up. We've got Liam from Well, There's Your Problem.
No, it's at the Philadelphia Zoo, the 6 ABC Jew balloon.
With just my face projected onto it. Yeah, get at me, Rick Williams.
I was back when I worked at the zoo. I asked the director of engineering there, what happens if they lost control of the zoo balloon? What if it got loose? And he didn't have an answer.
Oh, we're gonna test their metal here.
Well, there's no zoo balloon anymore. They got rid of the zoo balloon.
No, it's still there. It's just gone for the season, dude. 6 ABC was on
like
6 ABC was on it like 3 weeks ago. Not 3 weeks ago, but like a couple months ago. They shot Adam Joseph there.
Did they?
Not. I should clarify. They did not shoot the weatherman with a gun. He was they were shooting a segment, and he was on it in the hot air balloon.
Oh. So there's a balloon at the Philadelphia Zoo you can go up in. It's called the Zoo Balloon, and it was gone for a while, but apparently it's back. It's tethered to the ground. You go up like 500-600 feet and then come back down. I don't know what happens if they lose control of it.
It's the like balloon boy problem, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, I would just keep going up
forever. So I want to.
You're gonna be the sea monster.
Yeah.
I want to derail this podcast. Derail this podcast even further, because this is already probably the best episode we've ever done. Frankly, we're gonna have to pack it up after this. But we have a listener who emails us occasionally, who is as far as I know, you fucking people. She is, from what she said in her emails, a retired lawyer in her late 50s, early 60s. So she's like a peer of my parents. And she sent us an email that was like, "This is my feedback on the Fort Pendleton and SS Mercer disaster." And she was like, "Oh, it was like a little too like masculine for my taste." And it was a good, honest feedback.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying. Okay.
Hang on. Well, I think it's actually Tom. I think it's Tom's fault. But I responded to her email because it was good, honest feedback, and she's like, "I didn't understand all the Philadelphia references, and to you, Mary Sue, I can only apologize. And also, I'm doubling down on the Philadelphia references." Okay.
Yeah, next bonus episode after Catholicism is a cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, they stopped releasing the balloons is the point of this.
And instead started sacrificing them to
ritualistically.
Mammon.
Yeah. Have you played the Tomb Raider reboot? It's just like that.
Yeah. Great
so,
games.
For most of its history, the parade has gone from 77th and Central Park West. That's over here, by the way.
Oh boy.
Wait a second. No, that's wrong. How do I do it?
By the Historical Society, right? Because that's 79th by natural history. So yeah,
77th is like up here.
Yeah.
North is that way.
Yeah, north is that way. Yeah.
Right. So
Wreck 'em, bud.
77th and Central Park West over here by the Natural History Museum is where it starts. It goes south down Central Park West. It goes to Columbus Circle here, which is a nasty part of the parade because there's high winds. It used to go down Broadway over to God's own worst place in the world, Herald Square, where Macy's is down here.
Unspeakable evil. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy, dude.
Yeah, I would say the
between
worst.
Herald and Dimes and Times, for that matter. I'm not hearing anything good about squares in New York City.
Yeah, no, you're
gonna feel foolish when we play New York, a block off of Times Square. And Mayor Julianis has us secretly killed.
But yeah, this is about 2.25 miles, right? Today, since Broadway was pedestrianized, I believe they jog over 2 blocks, and they go down 6th. I think they might go down 7th. I'm not sure. But again, over here, Columbus Circle, very high winds. Over here, Times Square, also.
I don't like stuff being named after Columbus. I think it should be named after another great Italian American. It's Mangione Square.
Yes.
Or Mangione Circle.
We're back in.
Luigi Mangione. So, because of these high winds, because of various things, these balloons, they have problems.
Dear.
Almost hitting a perfect Trump cadence just on those balloons. They have some problems.
There's some problems.
Okay, we're going to look into it.
We're going to look into it.
I love this one. The Terrible Turk hit an electric sign at 72nd Street and tore in half. The Terrible Turk lusts in his heart for a Chevrolet.
Yes. 1931 down here, the Terrible Turk hit an electric sign at 72nd Street. He tore in half.
Whoa, hold on a second. The Terrible Turk with the fez?
Yeah,
with the fez,
31, man.
And the moustache.
I know. We do racism really good in America.
Maybe Eric Adams was just doing like New York City municipal reparations in his own way, by granting them those contracts and stuff.
Same year, 1931, the cat that's here.
Just the cat?
The cat hit a telephone pole, caught fire, and burned to the ground.
No,
that's not what a cat looks like.
Can you imagine being an 8-year-old and watching this happen before your eyes?
Up in flames like the fucking Hindenburg.
Oh, the villainy.
1932, the Tomcat here is released at Herald Square, and that woman tries to catch it with her airplane and almost crashes.
Yep, good. Yep.
Wait, so it wasn't even like a planned thing. She was trying to like do like an emergency balloon rescue in midair with a plane.
I think it was planned.
Oh my God.
I mean, she knew when the parade was happening, and there was a reward for doing it.
Again, I guess so.
Try not to
taking out your light aircraft for a $50 reward.
Do not Zacharias Moussaoui the fucking Thanksgiving Day parade.
Like leaning over to President McKinley and being like, they hit the fucking Flatiron building. Neither of those things chronologically related at all. It's like 100 years off.
1933, Andy the alligator was torn in half at 70th Street.
Again, the sort of blood sacrifices that renew the kind of like parapsychological thing of the city of New York. Also, why does it look like he's being walked by Klansmen?
He probably is. Frankly.
It wasn't political back then.
1933. Like, yeah, he's probably being walked by the Klan.
Actually, I bet it's like linguistically close. I bet those are clowns because pointy hat, white suits. I'm thinking that's like a what do you call that kind of clown? It's not a harlequin, the other kind.
Fucking, it's the Italians still have it.
Pierrot, the kind of that kind of clown. Yeah.
I'm noticing a brief pause before we talk about bad things happen to a mouse. I quite like that Chevrolet advert, and Liam, I think it's aiming at you. Sweet, smooth, sassy. Yeah.
That's me. That's me. With this, whatever the hell has happened to this.
Oh God!
I don't even know what that character is.
That's quite profound, actually. It's like the dying ghoul. It's like
yes, this is 1956. Mighty Mouse deflates and collapses at Columbus Circle.
Okay, with his one Mike Wazowski eye, did not slip the surly bonds of Earth. Actually, quite the opposite.
Just like this is a photo that conveys how can a loving God know such agony? Like it's wild, you know.
It looks like something out of the original film of Little Shop of Horrors. It's quite frightening.
Smooth, sassy. This is one of the greatest photos I've ever seen. Like no question.
The 20th century represented in one image.
This is the American condition, kind of.
1957. Popeye's hat fills with water during a downpour. The balloon tilts and spills it onto the crowd.
Really good.
I mean, water is famously
really
heavy. Yeah. So I'm just imagining a load of people just being like crushed to the ground by tons of water falling on them.
You get hit with like a riot cannon, but it's Popeye.
It's Popeye. Why I oughta.
Scattered like
and then you're just, oh yes.
At least it wasn't olive oil.
1961. The Gorgeous Gobbler.
What?
That's what they used to call me.
The Gorgeous Gobbler's beak was punctured at the start of the route and his whole head deflated.
The only thing worth eating at Wawa.
He completed the parade route regardless. And headless.
Come on, man.
That's where the term comes from.
That's too on the nose.
Yeah, don't like that.
Literally like a headless turkey.
Yeah, it's where the phrase comes from, famously, of course.
1971. Snoopy was wrapped around the cab of a helium truck due to high winds.
Oof.
Good
hell of a way to
Snoopy.
go.
Yeah.
1975, Snoopy was punctured by a lamppost at 73rd Street and was pulled from the lineup. Underdog ran into a lamppost near Times Square and was also removed from the lineup.
It's got a higher rate of attrition than the Vietnam War. Jesus Christ.
It's like we're done here.
Smokey the Bear's right hand was punctured by a tree at Columbus Circle and sprung a leak.
Only you can.
This is the best episode we've ever recorded.
The inherent humor of giant balloons is really like tipping it over. Yeah.
1982, Bullwinkle suffers a helium leak and slowly deflates along the length of Central Park West until being retired 4 blocks short of Herald Square.
Almost made it.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Finally got Moose and Squirrel. 1986. Betty Boop deflates and due to high winds only yards from the finish line.
I can relate to
her
this.
husband's going to be so upset.
Yeah,
that's it. Deflating due to high winds. Yeah, hard relate. That's fair.
91.
Yeah.
Kermit collides with a tree, suffers a deflated head.
Oh my God. They kept him moving?
Yeah, just like walking him off the field like a football player with a concussion.
I really hope that someone's got like a boombox walking underneath. It's 1991. Someone needs a boombox just to play It's Not Easy Being Green, but at half speed.
They take Kermit into the blue concussion tent for like they have in the NFL. Oh, they got to take him out back like a horse, man. This is brutal.
Oh my god.
1993 Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay.
Oh god. Oh, this.
Why does he look so pregnant?
Yeah. Finally, my Sonic Tales Mpreg fanfic is getting the attention it deserves.
They literally did inflate him, making him huge and round. Like, I don't.
Handlers lose control of Sonic the Hedgehog at Columbus Circle, a notorious high wind spot. Sonic flew into a lamppost and caught it right in his eye, causing rapid deflation.
The inflation fetishes are going to have a...
It's not...
The deflation fetish? I don't know.
Yeah. When he pulled away, he took the light fixture right off, which fell and hit a police officer and then a 10-year-old girl, both of whom sustained injuries.
So you take and you give.
Years later, how did you get your NYPD like injured in the line of duty citation?
A Sonic the Hedgehog dropped the light fixture on
and like
me.
this is 1993, so like the list of NYPD injuries is gonna be like, you know, all the 70s and 80s ones are like crashed own car dealing coke out of the precinct, right? And then the 90s ones are all like comedy shit like this, and then it's like 4 pages of 9/11.
Yeah. The balloon then fell onto the crowd, where one person was overcome by helium fumes but soon recovered.
You can do that?
One of the funniest ways to get overcome by fumes, I will say. It's like, help!
No, I think I'm fine. Sonic was removed from the parade, repaired, and returned in 1994 with no further incidents. But in an age of increasing balloon sizes,
fucking consequences for these people. They just move them onto another parade.
This was the worst accident the parade had seen so far. In 1995, Dudley the Dragon.
I hate his stupid fucking high tops.
Well, good news.
Dudley the Dragon was caught on another lamppost in Columbus Circle. His fixture shattered, and it showered the crowd with broken glass.
Jesus.
Oof.
Dudley was caught fast to the lamppost and was removed from the parade.
Just inseparable. Just like wrapped around the fucking thing. Just like teams of people trying to get him off this lamppost.
The Pink Panther.
I'm never going alive.
The Pink Panther collided with multiple objects, tearing open his stomach and puncturing his eye.
Jesus.
But completed the parade at low altitude.
Can I say under enemy radar? Can I say something about the attachment point for 2 of these tethers specifically that really, along with a collar, make it look like the Pink Panther is being pulled by nipple clamps?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Who's to say?
Folsom gets weirder every year.
Yeah.
The balloons were getting bigger and the stakes were getting higher. And, you know, these accidents actually will get worse. But first, we have to talk about something important, which is what is Barney the dinosaur.
Okay, so you know what Cocomelon is now?
No.
The kind of like it's the thing you put on iPads if you want to destroy a child's brain in such a way that they don't bother you. Also, I understand anyway. Like a bunch of my friends are having kids. So
is this the one?
I mean, mine's
is this the one where they?
So
like,
is this the one where they're like
yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I haven't actually watched it, but as far as I understand, it's the thing that puts like toddlers into a kind of trance state. It's probably bad that exists. Yeah. Well, that
you know,
like
it's you do that. You do Elsa and Spider-Man. You do what's it? There's a bunch of stuff with a bunch of needles for some reason that the kids like.
Weird, horrifying shit. But like anyway,
exactly.
But Barney the dinosaur was
the
like
chickens turn into alligators.
What?
But they're different colors.
What? Isn't that
Barney was like the 90s version of that.
Apparently, it's pure brain rot, no educational value, dancing fruits, according to my wife.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right,
noted. Thanks, Ren.
Yeah, Barney the dinosaur. He's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
No, he fucking isn't, bud.
No,
he's also a war criminal because they used to use the Barney song in Guantanamo Bay, amongst other places.
Wow.
Yes,
on a loop. So yeah, Barney is complicit with some of the darkest crimes of the U.S. imperial state.
But Barney was sort of a vaguely educational, wholesome children's programming thing about a bunch of kids and the magic dinosaur.
What?
Somehow now you read that sentence out loud, it rings different.
I
wish
I had.
He's
magic
got
dinosaur.
kind of a waist on him in a way that's upsetting to me. Like it's
he's got Kim Kardashian body. Yeah,
I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah, it looks like that one Paper magazine cover.
Yeah, that's
he's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
He's not a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Barney is a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Canonically, or what are we talking about?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? Just carry on, bud.
Yeah. When I was about 9, it was very cool to hate Barney and imagine him being killed in various violent ways.
I remember those rhymes on the
because like Barney was always very saccharine and there was no depth to it, and so of course kids were like, yeah, I want to see, it would be epic to see Barney get beheaded by a combine harvester or whatever.
Yeah, but in real life, Barney would kill you in various violent ways because he's a T-Rex.
It's true.
But nothing personal. Simply the nature of the T-Rex.
Nothing personal, kid.
Yeah.
As you're simply devoured by Barney the dinosaur for not putting your toys away in a timely fashion.
Yeah, kind of like the hippopotamus or the mahuhu,
And
he's got a jawline. He's got a jaw that's almost as wide as David Coulthard's. It's quite something there. Actually,
very, very nice teeth. He must have spent a lot on that.
David Coulthard.
He went to Turkey. Yeah.
He's also got I think this is the set for the new version of the show. Nice wooden bobber caboose back here.
That's lovely. Yeah, very nice. Just parked up there.
A lot of it's painted safety yellow.
Well,
yes.
Anyway,
safety first.
Mm-hmm.
So, November 27th, 1997.
Oh God.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Why the fuck?
I see Hey Arthur there. Big fan of Hey Arthur.
Nickelodeon going on there. Yeah.
Hated Rugrats. Always hated Rugrats.
Really, I love Rugrats.
Never liked the art style. Never liked it. Hate this clown. Hate these snowmen.
The clown is giving me John Wayne Gacy vibes. Right? Did you see the clown? Did you see the clown one?
Our balloon lineup. New balloon, Arthur. Right?
Sick.
Returning for Arthur. The 10th time, Big Bird.
Okay.
Returning for the 12th
mixed
time.
Feelings about Big Bird.
How do you have mixed feelings about Big Bird? He's a national hero, Nova.
Big Bird has a complicated legacy.
He kept us out of war. Returning for the 12th time, Garfield.
Of course.
For the 2nd time, Beatrix Potter's Peter Rabbit.
What the hell? We're the Brits again in there.
Brit shit. Yeah.
For the 10th time, the Pink Panther.
Yeah. Chiefly notable in the form of balloon.
Yeah. For the 10th time, the Nesquik Bunny. For the 4th time, Barney.
Official balloon of diabetes.
Yeah. For the 5th time, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Who's a previous war casualty.
It's just with a patch over one eye. And that's it.
Dan Crenshaw, but
I want to say Sonic the Hedgehog had a visible patch somewhere on him.
Venom Sonic.
Yes.
Already a demon, cars.
Debuting the Rugrats. For the 4th time,
filing cabinets down at them and shit.
The Cat in the Hat.
Okay.
For the 11th time, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I do like Spider-Man.
This is old school Spider-Man. Back when before any of the alternate continuity shit, where there was one Spider-Man and he fucking sucked.
Yes.
Hey, wait a second. Wait a minute. I loved Spider-Man as a kid. I had a plastic toy that was my beloved. God knows where it is now. I think my parents stole it from me at some point. But I loved that. Oh my God, the animated Spider-Man. from the
I
80s?
gotta single out Spider-Man as one of the rare few intellectual properties that has actually like gotten better in the 2020s. Like, not to say uncomplicated relationship with your kind of like mass media slop, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But
I like
will
my
not have
Spider-Verse.
anyone take my 80s Spider-Man cartoons away. The Amazing Spider-Man, when it was
Spider-Man.
like, wow, Spider-Man,
Spider-Man
sort of thing. I was a big fan of that.
Vitamin.
That's it.
I'm a man spider.
Oh. Yeah, check out my girth. Next.
Yeah. For the first time.
What the fuck is this?
Bumpay.
What is Bumpay?
What the fuck is Bumpay?
Bumpay is right here. That's Bumpay.
What?
He's a cow from Sweden
No, he is.
who changes into various things from the alphabet.
Roz, what the fuck are you talking about, mate?
What?
It's Bumpay.
It's Bumpay. I don't
America's favorite, Bumpay.
I don't like that this rabbit has gone full QAnon. Oh my god, they made RFK into a balloon.
Well, because you can't vaccinate a balloon because you just puncture it.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to score one. That's it.
For the third time, Eben Bear.
What is Eben Bear?
It's a Macy's or
Skyrim
IP.
ass
Oh
name.
my god.
This guy's wearing a big fur cloak. He's in Riften.
And for the first time, Petula Pig. Right here.
Oh, the
Petula
fucking
Pig.
the non-union Miss Piggy. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Miss Piggy will not deign to be balloonified, and frankly, I
because she
don't
saw
blame her.
Anta Kermit the year
Yeah,
before.
she's like
yeah.
She's like Jar Jar Gabor. She's not going to get out of bed for less than $1 million. You know, like.
So it's the morning. It's New York City. It's cold. And there are 40-mile-an-hour gusts and 20-mile-per-hour sustained winds.
Oh,
So
dear.
meanwhile, you're
Oh,
out there up
dear.
early inflating Sonic.
Yeah.
You're putting the nipple clamps on the Pink Panther. You're ready to go. You're like, this is a normal American cultural activity I'm about to engage in.
Everybody shut up. It's not weird, dude.
So, nonetheless, the nation is watching. The show must go on because this is nationally broadcast parade.
Who is watching this nationally?
Everybody.
My grandmother.
Also, my
Okay.
mom, who
Yeah.
loves the Thanksgiving Day parade.
So this isn't like this is actually like beloved. This isn't like a thing like the Super Bowl where I watch it every year to see whether or not somebody banes the thing. You know, whether it gets 9/11.
Right. No, this is a beloved cultural institution. I regret to
Okay.
inform you.
Yeah,
Okay.
lots of people. Lots of
Yeah,
people.
Is this to the
American
US?
cultural dominance, baby.
Hey, don't maybe get the Pennsylvania dominance drop out. Is this a bit to the US? Is this the same as like the former Austro-Hungarian Empire watching the Vienna Phil on New Year's Day morning? Is this kind of the same level of cultural sort of prescience?
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds
okay,
about
cool.
right.
Yeah. They all do it. I did Belgrade. They put the TV on. It's Eurovision because Eurovision is a thing outside of just Eurovision,
Mhm.
and everyone just claps along to not Handel. Everyone claps along to Mozart. It's nice. Not a thing we do in the UK because we're all hungover on New Year's Day, so we are not going to put on clapping music.
New Year's Day, you go out and watch the Mummers Parade, but that's only in Philly.
Yeah, and then you drink yourself sick.
Yeah, you go
puke
get
in the
really
fireball
drunk
in a trash can at
Yeah.
9:45 in the morning. Yeah, but I know.
Or if you're Scottish, you give yourself heart failure by running into the freezing cold Firth of Forth for no reason.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, polar plunge. You guys do that too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're not me.
Not any of
So-
us personally.
No.
An official from
Come on.
Macy's is like, nah, fuck it. We'll do it. Send the balloons up, right?
Yeah.
Let's
It'll look
go.
like the winds might be subsiding anyway. So,
Yeah, you can just say that shit when you're the boss of Macy's. You can just sort of say
Yeah,
shit
there's
like
no
that.
like,
oh,
there's
yeah,
no
the
like
wind, it's dying
international
down.
federation of balloonery. There's no one's your boss. Like you're the guy. You are the guy. You're Gene Kranz in fucking
You're
Apollo
ma-
13. You're wearing a
making-
white
yeah.
vest.
literally every call for this one. Yeah. Things start to go wrong almost immediately.
Hell yeah.
The
Cool.
first to go was
First to go.
the flying fish right here.
Oh dear.
One of the smaller and older balloons.
An
I like
ignoble
this
death,
fish.
huh?
I like
Yeah,
this fish.
Yeah, he was immediately shredded by high winds overnight.
Jesus Christ. You make me pack bond with this fish and then you kill him in the first scene like a red shirt
Just
to
instantly,
establish
yeah.
the stakes.
This is so good. Shredded by highway. Shredded. There's tattered remains of this thing just floating down and landing on people.
Totally decommissioned as a
Yeah.
result.
Like a nuclear reactor.
we gave Flying Fish a hero's funeral.
He's with the angel fish now.
As Amazing Grace just blares out over the children.
There's just a bunch of balloon handlers with like solemnly bringing shreds of rubber down the parade route. One block into the route, Sonic the Hedgehog, making his triumphant return after reconstructive surgery, had his head ripped open by the wind and was retired.
Oh, they can't keep doing this to him. How much can one hedgehog take?
This is like a Tarantino.
Like fucking Shadow
scene.
thinks he's had it rough. Eat shit. Getting your head torn open on a New York City lamppost in consecutive years.
The Nesquik bunny proved exceptionally difficult to control and wound up being significantly delayed, taking the place of Barney in the parade lineup. Barney was slotted in behind a Westward Ho float.
What did you call me?
Oh, shout out to Westward Ho, second mention in a row in WCYP.
Why does Westward Ho have a float in the Macy's parade?
Who's to say?
I don't know why. Yeah,
Give us
why
your
does
money.
anything have a float?
Why don't we have a float is the more important question.
So the Nesquik bunny struck a tree at 77th and Central Park West that ripped open his ear.
Okay, flesh wound at this point, but okay. Surviving.
Despite this, he continued the route until the deflated ear caught a stoplight at Times Square.
Christ,
Uh-oh.
Handlers from the Pink Panther, which we'll talk about in a second,
Oh, God, no,
rushed
Pink
to
Panther.
assist, but it was too late. The Nesquik bunny was ripped limb from limb by the stoplight and retired.
Can you imagine just being like a 6-year-old kid? You got up early and just watching your favorite characters limb from limb.
Torn bodily apart like a medieval execution, like a regicide.
Hanged, drawn, and quartered.
Oh, we scattered the Nesquik bunny over Fort Greene.
And you're gonna have to bring in the bounty for like partial pieces of rubber back, you know.
The Pink Panther this year was a truly monstrous balloon, one of the largest the parade had ever seen. It was 7 stories high. It was several other dimensions as well. In these winds.
Oh God! Oh my God!
I feel very strongly that if you look at the 3 photographers and 1 woman with a ponytail arrayed down the crosswalk here, this is us. This is spiritually us.
I like this guy just climbing, bottom right, red shirt, climbing on what I believe to be, is that the tail of the Pink Panther?
Oh,
I think it might
something
be an
long and
arm.
slender at the lower part, yeah.
The eyes, the bulging eyes.
Oh, God, the eyes.
The dead, lifeless eyes. Oh, who's anti-Semitic now?
And
the most childish and petty Mossad operation.
in these winds, the Pink Panther could only be flown horizontally. At 52nd Street, the Pink Panther began to behave erratically,
It's kind of
catching a gust of wind and throwing many of its handlers to the ground.
God,
getting
these
like
guys
getting like body slammed onto asphalt by the Pink Panther.
The Pink Panther caught a lamppost but did not tear.
Yes,
At
survives.
Times Square, though, things took a turn for the worse.
Oh,
you have to have a like Patrick O'Brien like sort of like early 19th century Royal Navy rigging crew level of like rope handling and cohesion and like fighting against the elements, and you're doing it all in a Pink Panther jumpsuit.
A much stronger gust of wind, which is amplified by tall buildings, caused the balloon to rear up, taking its pilot with it.
Jesus.
There's a pilot?
There's a pilot who is like directing everyone else for the balloon.
With just hand signals or what?
I assume he's also holding on to something.
Oh, Christ. All right.
Getting tossed getting yanked into the air like a toddler on a bell ringing rope.
Suffered like a nasty fall afterwards, but no injuries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. No problem.
So the balloon was still undamaged and the handlers pressed onward.
Just this limping pilot is like, well, I guess we
so much street furniture. This is so obstructed. Like, if you think about all the stuff overhanging a street in Manhattan.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Okay.
That might be my least favorite phrase on this show.
The balloon finally caught a traffic light and ripped open.
Oh, God.
Oh, no,
entrails cast to the wind.
It mostly deflated, but was still had enough helium in it to stay airborne until a police officer stabbed its tail. This stabilized the balloon and brought it to the ground. Then some 30 New York Police Department officers took to the scene and stabbed the Pink Panther to death.
It's not even an officer involved shooting, an officer involved stabbing.
Yes.
Like, all of these
them climbing all over it. Their instincts, they're just their eyes like flick back and come back forwards again, and they just all enter extreme violence.
You enter
mode
like it's like Italian moment, right? In that moment, the kind of the epigenetics speak, and they fall on him like Caesar.
Oh my God.
E2 Brute.
Oh my God.
I think the funniest thing, right, is like, from an institution we know very well is like extremely violent in set ways, but a complete mismatch of method, to be stabbed to death by the NYPD is like...
Testimonies from the scene indicate a mother and daughter were trapped under the balloon, and some handlers were briefly overcome by helium gas.
Well, it's a good shoot then. It's self-defense, you know? Like, internal affairs rolling up and taking statements. Every single one of these cops gets their like union rep. I was in fear for my life.
Planting a gun on the Pink Panther inflatable.
Listen, the Pink Panther has a long criminal history, right? I think we can be clear about that.
The Pink Panther was no angel.
I recovered this gun off of the suspect.
Oh, this one's gonna kill me. This one is gonna kill me.
Handlers went to assist the Nesquik money and managed to get it 6 blocks further to 36th Street, where it too was ripped open and was retired.
This is a death march. What the
You've heard it off. You've heard a baton. Now get ready for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Call it off. Why is it still going? This is like fucking
this scale.
This is like Rocky Balboa's fight doctor organizing this shit. What the fuck?
Slaughter of this scale in downtown New York would not be known for how many more years?
Four, I think. Yeah.
I could stab a guy on Fifth Avenue, stab a balloon on Fifth Avenue. And, they'd still vote for me. Anyway, the most infamous scene from this particular Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was the murder of Barney the dinosaur.
Oh my God, he's being torn asunder.
Oh, it really is guts out. Oh my God.
This was entirely cut on video, and you can watch it on YouTube. There's like a family and their kid, and the kid's just laughing the whole time.
I mean, if you're a 9-year-old and you're like, yeah, I want to see Barney get decapitated, you're about to have the best day of your fucking life.
On the other hand, where's the combine harvester I asked for?
That's the inflatable one behind.
In an event that would go down in history as extremely funny, Barney became uncontrollable around 52nd Street. It's the point where handlers were lying down on the pavement to keep him under control. We're having sort of a Jurassic Park moment here.
Yeah.
Barney
Just
managed to
go to that video and like cut in some of the Godzilla roars, please.
Godzilla roars, just like some guy going, clever girl. All this, like this shit going on, all left, right, and center, yeah.
Well, Barney managed to wreck himself into a streetlight, which tore a massive gash in his side and exploded his tail.
I told my wife what we were doing for the episode tonight, and she sang in the cadence of the Barney theme song off the dome. I love you, you love me, I was killed by NYPD.
Emboldened by their successful dispatch of the Pink Panther, the New York Police Department immediately swarmed Barney and stabbed him repeatedly in the face, stomach, tail, arms, legs, etc.
This was a police riot. Like,
A riot is the language of the unheard, and it's just Barney the dinosaur on a loop.
Yeah. Barney was soon a flat sheet of rubber on the pavement and was retired.
Well, I figured at that point.
Figured. Oh my god, look how they massacred my boy. And his dead soulless eyes.
Petula Pig.
Listen, I will say one thing. I will say one thing for policing, right? Irrespective of abolition or whatever. One thing its defenders do say is true, which is that just fucking any shit just lands on cops, it seems like. And that they're just left to be like, yeah, I have no balloon handling experience, but what I do have is many knives, I guess. And that combination of being the like public service of last resort and also having like a very specific set of training that does not account for Barney the dinosaur being uncontrollable leads to maybe the funniest thing I've ever fucking heard. Oh, Jesus.
Absolutely incredible. Wait, there's more. Roz, there's more.
So, Petula Pig did not start the parade.
Disappointing.
Eben Bear
Miss Piggy
did
would
not
never
start.
That is the most not that IP ass looking balloon I've ever seen in my life. That's
getting a DNS for
you're not her. You will never be her.
Yeah.
Beatrix Potter's Peter Rabbit struck a streetlight hard at 72nd Street but did not deflate.
Americans coming to your like little English like village and being like, hey, can we adapt your beloved children's character? 2 weeks later, you are watching your tiny little British TV, seeing a gigantic balloon of him being slammed into a New York City streetlight.
It's what she would have wanted.
But the worst incident was with the cat in the hat.
No. This wasn't the worst.
We've seen so much blood and gore at this point. Like, just what? Oh.
Well, here he is. He's on the Somerville.
I've seen the Michael Myers movie. That's pretty. Oh my god!
But he is missing his hat, thus rendering him an ordinary cat, and he is sideways. So at 72nd Street, the cat in the hat started to get angry.
Spiritually milkshake, yes.
Yeah.
He's like a tall balloon. It's very susceptible to wind. Like
he's tall, he's got very broad sides. Yeah.
He
started bucking wildly from side to side. He hit a street light. In fact, the same street light that Beatrix Potter's Peter Rabbit struck. Then he hit it a second time, knocking an arm from the streetlight onto the ground and into the crowd, injuring 4 people, including one Kathleen Corona, who was nearly fatally injured and went into a coma for a month, suffering permanent brain damage.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
You're just almost murdered by a Dr. Seuss balloon.
But just a regular giant cat.
Do you remember fucking 6 Feet Under? That's the way they used to start episodes to like grab you for the rest of the hour, where it's like Dexter being gay and sad. Is like, oh, you know, a woman getting killed by the Cat in the Hat at the Macy's parade.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she suffered particularly debilitating brain damage, but a little brain damage is still too much brain damage.
Yeah, I don't want to damage the brain.
No, that's not your friend. It obviously fucks with you in ways that you can't even account for. It's fun.
Yes. The response to this was to deflate his hat, leaving him a mere cat on a strange machine.
Whoa, hold on. We've nearly killed a woman here.
Yes.
And their response is, well, we'll take the hat off as a compromise, but the parade is still going.
The hat. We're still gonna do the parade. The show must go on.
You're not gonna call this off at any point.
The show must go on, Nova.
Okay.
The handlers managed to get him as far as 36th Street, very close to Herald Square, where he became unwieldy. Once again, he was deflated and permanently retired from the parade.
Yeah. Okay, but why? What social good was served from dragging this hatless cat?
balloon abolition.
The cat
another like 40
hat.
blocks after when it's got blood on its hands, quite possibly literally.
Yeah.
Why though? And why does the cross hatching make it look like it's got fucked up chest and arm hair?
Yes. Robin Williams ass looking cat.
I hate
Ultimately, of the 14 balloons that year, only 7. Arthur.
Oh my God.
Big Bird. Beatrix Potter's Peter Rabbit. The Rugrats. Garfield. Spider-Man. And America's favorite, Bumpy, made it to the finish line.
Yeah, you hate to give Bumpy credit, but like he is built different. He is those Swedes. They know how to. They know
Everyone's
how to make
favorite cow.
I mean, you know, this is it continues to be like unlimited Arthur supremacy.
Yes. Arthur is just, there workmanlike. He just walks to the finish line.
Yeah, it's just a nice
He's got
guy.
his book.
Yeah.
He's got his backpack. Yeah. He says hello to everyone.
Real blue collar balloon.
Yeah, exactly. Lunch pail, 9 to 5. Well, 7 to 3 because he's at school.
I find Big Bird here lightly terrifying, to be honest. Like the shadow under it, the like encompassing embrace, the eyes.
It does look a bit like it's something. There's a dark energy going on there that troubles me.
No.
So there's some sense after this incident there needs to be some kind of reform at the parade after they lost half the balloons and put a woman in a coma. The good news is they have the most capable man for the job. Rudy Giuliani.
Friggin' Giuliani. Check out No Gods, No Mans.
Yeah. So, Giuliani does what any good mayor does and convenes a task force to figure out what to do. They came up with a couple of recommendations.
Recommendation number 1: put the New York City Emergency Response Center in the World Trade Center.
Yes.
Yep.
They're going to limit the size of the balloons. The city's going to make the call to call off the balloons if winds are high. They're going to require some kind of training for balloon handlers.
Oh, just like that's so funny to look at the balloon handlers and be like, you go to school for that? And the answer being no as well. It's like doubly funny.
They're going to tether the balloons to vehicles as opposed to just people.
Great. So now Sonic's picked up a pickup truck and it's going to be swinging it around like Captain Mario.
And they're going to actually prepare the parade route for balloons by moving like streetlights and things like that.
They didn't do that.
Of these feel like things they should have done already.
Why would you do that? Kathleen Corona made a partial recovery, and after suing Macy's, the city, the streetlight manufacturer, and everyone within 2 miles, eventually settled out of court. Then in October 2006, Yankees pitcher Corey Lytle flew a Cirrus SR-20 into her apartment.
What?
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
But
What?
yes.
I was going to say that's a strange series of events. What?
I have to be honest. If this had happened to me, I would attribute that to the earlier brain damage. I would think I had hallucinated.
Honestly, yeah.
To
She
be
was
like,
she was not in
experienced-
she was not in her apartment at the time.
Yeah, okay, still, but like if you get like a fucking Wesley Snipes in like baseball 9/11, they did like. Why did he? What?
Why did all this happen to this woman?
And then we got the coronavirus as well. Like I think genuinely we should. This woman should seek some kind of like spiritual investigation. That's the only thing I can think of.
You're gonna have to
I
contact a medium.
Gonna have to talk to a priest about this one. See if you can get some kind of financial settlement with God.
Running up that hill to make a deal with God. God settling out of court with no finding of liability.
Don't worry, we will get to the Catholicism episode.
Yeah.
God has to replace your apartment.
Anyway, so this meant there were never any incidents at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade again, except for 2003, the new turkey exploded due to thermal expansion.
Get on the nose there, man.
2004, Charlie Brown's football deflated.
That's the funniest possible arrangement. Charlie Brown deflates, funny. Charlie Brown and the football deflate, funny. Charlie Brown is fine, but the football deflates, hysterical. A Lucy balloon floating away from the sea.
2005, the red and yellow M&Ms brighten up the holidays balloon. That's the name of it. They have a handling line catch a light post, sending the fixture into the crowd.
Oh yeah, the scattered glass shards into the crowd situation again. Good stuff.
Like, I mean, listen, I would be fine with that if it was the green M&M showering me with glass, but like, whatever.
Who's to say?
Hey, I'm not here to king shame.
2010, the wiggle worm.
The what?
What?
The goddamn
the wiggle worm.
Oh my god!
Excuse me.
It's first of all, don't talk about my penis like that. Second of all, my penis does not have these dead soulless eyes.
Yeah, the eyes are full of life. Eyes are actually yeah, that's it.
The wiggle worm was punctured by a one-way sign.
Oh.
I guess there wasn't enough wiggle room.
Yeah. 2012.
Thanks, Liam.
Pikachu's ears exploded due to thermal expansion.
Can we actually attribute this to climate change? Because it only seems to be happening in the 2000s. Like 90s, nobody's exploding. They might be killing people, or almost, but like nobody's having their ears blown up.
2019, Goku.
What did he do to New York City?
Goku knocks down 3 balloon handlers in a gust of wind, leaving one with an injured shoulder.
Well, now he's defeated them. That means that they're friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the art balloons, the new art balloons they have, called Love Flies Up to the Sky.
Oh, this sucks. I hate it.
Wrecked into a portable restroom trailer and broke its face, then had a tentacle ripped off by a subway map stand.
Oh my god!
The city is fighting back. I'm just imagining this weird tentacle thing smashing into a truck full of porta potties and just sending porta potties
cascading down
the crowd.
This is a beautiful tradition. I hope they keep doing it forever.
Yes, it's just I love to see a giant balloon of my favorite cartoon character be destroyed accidentally, potentially causing danger to life and limb.
I get it now. I was skeptical on the Macy's parade, but now I'm converted. I'm a believer.
Oh, you will get me appearing like that guy in the GIF who has the like pop-out chair and he just smacks it open, puts it on the ground, and sits on it. That will be me at the next one of these. This is incredible. This is a bit like F1. So the regulations get tighter, but the murder and slaughter gets more and more diverse. It's joyous. It's really quite nice. I love this so much.
This has been life-changing.
It literally has. I'm a different human. The Gareth before is gone. The Gareth anew rises.
And now I have a new model for whenever I'm feeling particularly shitty. I can just be like, damn, I feel like Sonic the Hedgehog being slammed into a light post.
Stabbed in the eye. Oh, there's video of that one too. It's pretty gnarly.
Oh god!
You like want to wince. It's like he got it right in the eye.
I don't remember the French word for hedgehog off the top of my head, but un chien andalou hedgehog.
And if anyone ever needs cheering up, the wiki the entire wiki for this will provide endless joy.
I'll put a link to it in the description.
I was going to say, literally, we have to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
This is one of the most like fucked up things Americans routinely like continue to do on a yearly basis. Like this is baked in like drunk driving deaths. It's just.
It's just free health insurance.
Exactly.
We're gonna have to kill some cartoon characters each year.
Ritualistic sacrifice, yes.
Listen, I obviously I support murder in some cases, but I don't support taking away someone's ability to view the next year's Macy's parade.
Exploded due to thermal expansion.
I need badly to see Pikachu's ears exploding. I think I'm gonna seek that out.
Absolutely sensational. What did we learn from this?
The NYPD are the thin blue line protecting order
from the
balloon chaos. Were it not for them, every New Yorker would have been killed by Sonic the Hedgehog, the Pink Panther, and Barney the Dinosaur.
You just see Pikachu looming outside your like 50th floor apartment, just staring
not even the
at
parade day.
Yeah.
Batman Returns, but you just replace all the characters that are in Bane's team with these balloons, and they have to fight the cops at the end. I would pay good money for that.
We learned that maybe it shouldn't be up to an employee of a department store whether or not to fly a bunch of huge balloons down a street in one of the most populated cities in the world.
Yes.
No, we didn't learn that. I learned nothing from this, except I in my heart, I hunger for more balloons.
Yeah, I need to see more of this happening.
We need the Will Ayers Your Problem balloon.
Give us a balloon.
Oh my!
Give us a balloon.
It's just the big do not eat Subway token with the hard hat on it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that in the Boscov's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Or now it's the 6 ABC Dunkin' Donuts Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's the Philly one. I don't know if anything funny happened on that one.
Looking forward to settling out of court when the Subway token like kills somebody. Using some of Earth's finite reserve of helium on this as well is incredibly funny.
Oh yeah,
There's like so many MRI machines. I mean, luckily you can't afford them anyway because of insurance companies. But like, if you could, that helium is being diverted to Charlie Brown's football, which feels like an apt metaphor.
It's just then deflated before your eyes. Well, we have a segment on this podcast called Safety Third.
Shake hands for danger.
Huh.
Howdy, loyal subjects of milkshakes and any potential guests.
Plural.
Milkshakes. Yeah, I only have one milkshake here.
We love him.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a tale that shows how one can follow the correctly safety protocols and still wind up in a situation where they're doing something that's really fucking stupid.
Nice.
Near the turn of the century, I was a trade school
Oh,
student.
I don't like that. That's a phrase you can use now.
Desperately trying to get a job in the field that I was studying for, namely machining.
Mm.
Despite the fact that I've been in school for a couple years, I couldn't get a job in my field as I didn't have enough experience. You know how there's that whole catch-22 thing. You can't get a job because you don't have any experience, and you can't get any experience because no one will hire you.
Yep.
Anyway, I eventually managed to find a job working in a small foundry as a grinder/pouring crew for far less pay than I could get working at the local Walmart. But I took it, since if I stayed at the job for a year, I'd have enough on my resume that I could claim experience and thus get hired at a machine shop that paid better than either Wally World or the foundry.
Mm-hmm.
Fair plan. Okay, yeah.
This particular foundry had a main furnace that could melt just under 1,000 pounds of metal at a time. Roughly 100 pounds of molten metal would be poured into the ladle, held by a two-person crew.
I see the simplified Minecraft illustration here.
Yes,
Very
exactly.
nice.
It's the Tinker's Construct mod. That you cast the tools. It's kind of fun.
Incredible.
That two-person crew would then take it over to the various molds that were in the pouring area, and after filling up a couple of the molds, they'd go back to the furnace for more metal to pour into the other molds.
Yeah, the pickaxe, sword,
Pickaxe,
etc.
sword, hammer, hoe, etc. Yes. The ladle was in the middle of what we called a shank that looked like two letter Ys joined at the base. The forked part was where each person holding the shank was located. Both of us wore the correct kind of safety gear, this being leather coats covered in silver mylar, leather gloves, and a welder's face shield. I went a step further and wore cloth draped around much of my head to help protect me from the heat.
Looking very cyberpunk, I imagine.
Yes. One day, as I'm holding my end of the shank, as molten tool steel that was about 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit was being poured into the ladle, I saw a drop of metal splash out from the ladle and head my way. My thought as I saw the drop head towards me was, oh, that'll probably hurt if it hits me.
Yeah, I bet.
I want to point out that as a member of the pouring crew, be it the person who was operating the furnace, someone holding the shank, the mold setter, the person putting the insulation on the mold after it was filled in order to control the rate at which it cooled, or the QA person observing everything to ensure all proper procedures were followed, you could expect to get the kind of burns someone frying bacon in a skillet might get every time we did a pour.
Ugh.
They were annoying, but not particularly large or painful. This drop was large enough for me to know just by looking at it that if it hit me, it would be far, far worse.
Woo.
A few seconds later, I suddenly became aware of a serious burning situation on my right ass cheek.
No.
I mean, there's worse places for it, but like,
Not
still.
that much. Yeah.
And when I say serious, I mean serious. If you ever broken a tooth and had to wait a long period of time before you get pain meds stronger than aspirin, you have an idea of what I was feeling. I also couldn't just scream and run around because if I made any sudden moves, there was a strong chance that the metal would splash out of the ladle, which could put myself and the person at the other end of the shank at risk of life-threatening burns.
Not to be a capitalist here, but I now understand why some of the other jobs wanted you to have experience.
Yeah.
I had to stand absolutely rock still while screaming at the top of my lungs for someone to take the goddamn shank out of my hands as I was clearly being burned. One of the other guys on the pouring crew came over, grabbed my end of the shank out of my hands, and I immediately raced off to an area not far from the pouring area where I was shielded from the heat and could begin stripping off my gear. Once behind the shield, I began taking my stuff off as fast as I could, hoping that this would get rid of the molten metal that was burning me.
I don't like the phrasing of that because this suggests that does not succeed. I don't like this, and I do not like what's coming.
I quickly discovered the metal was in my ass and not embedded in my safety gear. So I reached down, grabbed a hunk of seared flesh, and tossed it away.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. They were doing you like a Macy's Day balloon.
Yes. I had to do this a second time to get it all out of me. I then promptly collapsed on a pile of stuff. I had no idea what it all was in front of me.
Yeah, because you were self-excavating one ass cheek by hand.
I was gasping like someone who'd just been saved from drowning. A moment or so later, the guy who'd taken the shank from me walked back to where I was and asked me if I was going to be able to finish pouring the rest of the heat. A heat being the amount of time it took to pour all the metal in the furnace. A smart person would have responded no, but because of the toxic masculinity culture of the job, we're admitting that suffering from anything other than a sign of life-threatening injury meant you were a wimp. I nodded.
Man, you've got one ass cheek left.
Yeah.
How
Saves
you're gonna need a prosthetic to sit on a toilet.
You're gonna need.
Go to hospital.
They're gonna put you in the iron butt.
The man in the iron butt.
Yeah. I nodded yes. I put my gear back on and I finished the heat, even though I was in severe pain.
Just like a set of ass cheeks that looked like the Phantom of the Opera.
That Joel Embiid mask. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
After we finished the heat, I inspected my gear to try and figure out what had happened. My assumption was the droplet of metal had hit the outside of my coat and burned its way through to my ass. I discovered that what actually had happened was that the droplet had managed to perfectly sail its way between the gap in my coat and my neck, caused by the position I needed to be in when the metal was being poured into the ladle. And it was only when the droplet hit my belt that it stuck out, due to how I had to be crouched over, that the molten metal was directed into my ass.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want bad things to happen to my little ass. And the idea of it being shredded and then I have to rip out. You have to do the damage to yourself. It makes you rip off your own ass. Yeah. I don't like this at all.
My
That's
solution...
sort of an auto-gluteectomy or something.
Yeah.
Like,
that would be it, yeah.
My solution to ensure this never happened again was to wear a backwards baseball cap while we poured, so that if any metal tried to follow the same path, it'd be stopped by the bill of my cap.
I don't feel
that's
like
more faith than I've ever put in the bill of a baseball cap in my life.
Also, it just ripped and shredded an ass, widened this person's intergluteal sulcus by several inches, and yet they're relying on a baseball cap?
Just a doctor with a clipboard sitting you down and being like, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but you'll never wear a thong again.
Sounds like butt plugs aren't for you. Actually, you might need one because the sphincter doesn't work anymore.
Jesus Christ!
You ripped off your own ass.
Blown out like Chernobyl. Yeah,
that's gonna be a vivid like. No, not thrilled with knowing
this is a medical butt plug. This is not a sex thing.
This is safety gear. Fuck off.
Yeah.
PPE for my ass.
My Mylar butt plug.
Yeah.
My asbestos butt plug. Should be fine. You're not breathing it. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot more I could say about that job, like how I came to be in possession of the goods. I came
What's
in possession
worse than
of
ripping off half of your own ass? I can't think of many things.
Like how I came in possession of a good-sized hunk of magnesium in case I needed to unalive a supervisor, but that probably wouldn't play on the show. Signed.
You've said it now, and it's on record, so
Yeah, plus I will say this is a pretty distinctive injury. If anybody has ever met you, they're gonna know because they'll be like, "Oh, the guy with
the guy with half an ass."
Yeah,
right. the man with half an ass.
Actually, do we know this? I was going to say the person.
We don't know gender. We don't.
You've heard of the man who knew too much. Now get ready for the man who pooed too much.
Signed, a guy who wouldn't be
there it
upset
is.
if a particular McDonald's in Pennsylvania burned down because a chunk of flaming magnesium hit it.
It's
throwing a chunk of magnesium into the deep fryer and leaving.
Is it the Camp Hill McDonald's? Because I have beef with them. Not just because
No,
they're
it's the
McDonald's.
Altoona. It's the Altoona
Oh,
McDonald's.
duh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I did, whoever was in charge of not providing you with the safety equipment for that should have one half of their ass burned off in a kind of like blood money.
Tit for tat,
Well, no, they have to donate their ass to you.
Oh, okay. Who do you think donated the ass cheek? you turn around and look, and it's the safety officer who's lying on another bed at a 45-degree angle because they're missing one ass cheek.
It's like a train going around a curve. Yeah, okay. Yeah, nice. Yeah. I applied cant on my ass. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fine.
Oh, you got to put some pseudocreme on that, man. It's whoa.
This might be my least favorite
Fistfuls
ever.
of ass
Safety
meat.
third. Ripping out your own.
At least it's got like a nice
metal
char on it,
melted
like a
ass.
barbecue.
It's
You're like
probably overcooked is the thing.
Yeah. You gotta do.
Also, I don't know how much this guy is into cannibalism anyway. I don't think it's a great idea. That's just my own opinion, though.
This is
I mean, it's all fat. There's nothing good down there.
This has been upsetting.
This has been upsetting.
This is gonna haunt me. This is gonna be in my dreams tonight, and not.
I
Not in a good way.
catch me wearing a like a mylar turtleneck.
Yeah, like sort of a tungsten kilt.
I'm gonna be in it. I'm just
That actually that sounds like a whip.
NBCR
Actually,
suit
so yeah.
made of marble and lead. Yeah.
Oh, the sound the marble suit makes when it moves is upsetting.
It's just like grinding rock noises while you're walking
Fucking
around.
Captain Crepitus is here.
You actually have to move like the fucking angels from Doctor Who. No one can be looking at you.
Yeah, you
This
move
isn't
by
to sneak up
MacGuffin,
on
yeah.
people. It's just
I
annoying.
love British TV of like, oh, this is too cheap to animate. How do we do it? And we turn that into like really affecting horror.
Yeah.
Something this country is good at. Something your country is good at. Balloon catastrophe.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Well, that was safety third.
Shake hands for danger.
Because of you guys that were having balloon catastrophe in English, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it could be Das Balloon catastrophe.
Yeah. Das Gumi catastrophe.
Catastrophe. Fuck off.
Oh, best episode, worst safety third. What a night.
The duality of man.
Our next episode will be on Chernobyl. Does anyone have any commercials before we go?
Subscribe to the Patreon. It's we're funny. This is funny.
Yeah, we'll have a bonus episode out this
We
month,
will.
or so help us God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so help us God is relevant to the topic.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Otherwise,
cartoon, yeah.
we'll have an angry patron come and shoot us 3 times.
delay.
Yeah.
Listen to all the 150 podcasts that we're all respectively on.
Yeah, listen to No Gods, No
so
Mayors.
yes,
We're
do
having a
that.
good time with it. We just put out an episode on Michael Applebaum, the former mayor of Montreal.
What
I had
beautiful
so
city.
much fun because I work a very brief cutaway, and yes, we will wrap this up. It's like 30 seconds. So I work for Atkins, a company that S&C Lavalan, there you go, Nova, you'll now understand the connection, bought out to greenwash their own name, and it didn't work to the point where they've now jettisoned their old name and renamed themselves Atkins Realis, and it still hasn't worked. And the amount of corruption training they have to do internally is genuinely obstructive to them doing their day jobs. It's quite hilarious. It's very funny. So yeah, listen to that episode because it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed listening to that episode quite substantially. It's gone great. What a pod! What an idea for a pod.
Thank you.
My plug is also that Tom Payne of this parish occasionally is coming on Railnatter. We've recorded a very funny Americana episode about stupid flights that shouldn't exist, but that should ought to be trains, and we ended up going extremely long because we both got we both got quite drunk.
Great.
So
Yes,
it was very
I
fun.
heard about that.
It was fun. That'll be going out on literal Christmas Day because the release schedule of Rail Natter is insane. So enjoy that.
Nice.
All right. And I was just on a podcast about The Simpsons called Mole Man in the Morning. We talked about Marge versus the monorail and also the episode after that. It was very long, so you better listen to it. So my time was worthwhile.
Exactly. And buy tickets to the remaining shows. See the start of the episode to understand which precise places you need to buy tickets.
If there's anybody left after the, I don't know, delirium psychoses we all entered when, again, Barney the dinosaur
suffered trails were scattered across
scattered off Long Island Sound. Yeah. What are you going to
do? I think they actually repaired that balloon somehow.
They scooped up its insides, popped them back in, and got stitching. Yep.
A lot of stitching.
Just imagining them all with like bandages and patches, like the year after, just like these like actual anyway, it's beautiful. We should do a big trip to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade and get everyone along.
That would be pretty funny.
But also, everyone should bring a pitchfork to just protect themselves if the balloons get too close.
Bring sharp objects.
You'll never take me alive.
Broken bottles.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
All right.
Yeah.
That was a podcast. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.